Hey everyone, it's Cray here. Welcome to the stream. So, I have a lot to talk about right now. I don't know if it's going to be very easy. I've had a really lame start to my morning though, and I think I'm going to talk about that a little bit in just a bit, not right away. This is much earlier start to my stream than what I normally do. There's a reason for this. I don't normally like to start like this early, but throat's acting up again. But yeah, I have some plans I have to take care of today. I think I've already mentioned before I need to go down and get my phone checked out because I went to get it repaired and it's not working correctly, and yeah, that's a whole mess that I have to deal with today and try to hopefully get things under control. I don't know. So there's that, and it's going to be interfering my day. And there's other things too. I have a lot that I want to do today. It's the main thing, but there's a lot of things weighing on my mind, and I feel like I want to go talk with some people for a little bit. I have some things that I'm thinking about right now. I actually might have to push back I think I told you guys already I've been doing therapy, and I have to push that back for sake of trying to check this out. I'm frustrated right now. Things have been going really lame for me. I guess I'll take this. But yeah, there's just a lot on my mind. Hey Zachary, welcome to stream. Good to see you. We'll start with the top of what's on my mind right now, and then I can talk about other things that are bothering me because I feel like I need to offload a little bit of this, and this is like one of my few times where I get a chance to just be myself and talk. Honestly, I'm really upset about how my cell phone repair is gone. That's not the thing that's bothering me the most right now, but it's bothering me to say the least. It didn't work out very well, and right now I'm feeling incredibly frustrated. Also, this is a very lame run. We don't seem to have any Pokemon that are like actual good hard counters for Groudon. That's lame, really lame. Whatever. But yeah, I'm upset about that. I feel like I got ripped off and my phone was taken in. Got a new battery for it, and it's just dying quicker than before, and I'm frustrated about that. I feel like I got shafted. My repair I got for my phone didn't have any. I don't know. I feel like I want my phone working, and I've been trying to hold out like some extra money every now and then, specifically to get my phone repaired, and it's having it. Of course, when I actually go to get it repaired, there's issues. So yeah, I'm frustrated by that. Really frustrated by that right now. That's not the only thing. You know, I think like I don't know, whatever I was gonna say. Like I was gonna say, like over the past night or two, I've been like thinking about stuff I wanted to talk about on stream, and it was like I forgot a lot of it. Not because I couldn't remember, because the fact that, well, one thing happened last night that I wanted to bring up, I guess, but we'll talk about it in a moment. Still, I haven't gotten through all the stuff I really wanted to talk about, which is, what was it I was going to mention? There's something important. Oh yeah, I had to go grocery shopping. I was mostly talking about the stuff with like the cell phone stuff, but I'm not finished with that topic, so I'll expand upon it a little bit. I'm frustrated because I've been trying to get this phone fixed for a while. It's been messed up, and on top of that, I've been holding out a little bit of extra money for this so I can put some money back for some stuff I wanted a little more than to just get my phone fixed. Obviously, getting my phone fixed is high priority because I need it for everyday life. It's like, what if I end up in an emergency situation where I actually need my phone and I can't use it? Then yeah, that's a problem. I need it to work, so can't just ignore it. But yeah, yesterday, this isn't even the part that bothered me, but like yesterday I had to go down to the store, and so I've been spending a little more than usual. Part of it's because of games. I wasn't like I was trying to. I'm gonna have to double check my bank and check my spending, but like I didn't have a lot of money left. I ended up having like spending most of my money trying to make sure I got like food and stuff because I was running low on supplies. Made me feel a little bit, well, a little upset for one. That's not really the big problem. That's just a thing of life, though. Spend money to keep moving on, but yeah, had been paid for a lot of things this month, and I haven't had a lot of spare money. Kind of sucks a little bit. Hey, Ember. Welcome to stream. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. But yeah, that's not really the big picture. It's been a nasty month, though. I've got some backup money, and I'm going to use just a little bit, if I can, on still getting that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, just in case, if I can. But other than that, I'm saving the rest of it. What was it mentioning? Say, oh yeah, this morning was absolutely just awful for me. I don't know. I might be overemphasizing this and being dramatic, but I had a really shitty, like, I don't know what the right word is. I feel like my mood when I woke up was just not good. I felt like total dog shit, and I want to talk about that a little bit. Hey, Zachary, good to see you. Welcome back. But yeah, I remember waking up and I had an emotional overflow. The depression, I think, is getting worse. I'm honestly not even sure what to make of the way I'm feeling right now. Like, I'm honestly starting to wonder what I'm feeling is more than, like, actual depression. And it's weird to say that, but it's like, I don't know how else to describe it, because it's not like your ordinary depression. Hang on a second. A Black Friday deals for games. Walmart and Best Buy, and I don't know, like a whole lot that's going on. I know the Nintendo eShop is doing some stuff with their sales there. All I know for sure is that I've heard of a bunch of games that are going to be on sale for like $20 off, and then Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are both like $30 each, I'm pretty sure. So those are the things I remember, like, specifically. Other than that, I don't remember, like, anything big. Anyway, that was just for a second to take my attention away from that topic. But yeah, I had a really terrible morning. I don't really know what spurred it on. I'm watching some shows before, and I'm wondering if maybe some of that got me thinking or what. I don't know, but I'm a mess at the moment. I woke up and I remember crying, and I just feel bad. All the years of problems I've had built up with my parents, like, it just kind of felt like all that emotion that was just stirring around in me, just fucking all built up and let out at the same time this morning, and it made me feel really, really upset, and I could not stop, like, at the crying, and just felt completely awful. It's a lot to talk about, so it's going to be a little hard to, like, go over all of it and talk about what I want to talk about and get it out there. It's just a lot on my mind right now. It's like I said, it's weird talking about this too, because I don't feel like it's purely depression. It's this feeling of just not knowing what to do with your life, feeling just like and it's feeling powerless too. That's part of depression, but like, I just feel like I don't know what I can do with my life or move on right now. It scares me because it's not at the same I'm used to feeling. It's still terrifying in its own weird way. I'm not going to harp on that bit for too much, but it's, I felt something different in a very bad way this morning. Ugh. Okay, where was I on talking though? Because I do want to talk about this a little bit. I feel like I need to vent a little bit. If I don't talk about this to anybody, I feel like it might actually get worse. I've never had a good relationship with my parents. I've already told you guys that things have been really rocky and just really bad like over my whole life, I feel like, and I think that's what spurred on what was happening this morning. I feel like every single big decision in my life, I've had problems with my parents. Maybe not even decisions, the right word. Even though I've never had anything where it feels like it's been like enough that you could call it abuse. This is a weird topic to get into, but I feel like this is a necessity right now. My parents have made me feel so upset, so miserable, and also it made me feel like so much fear that I don't know what else you could call it. I don't think there's a lot else you can say when you have that kind of emotion for your parents, and it doesn't come out of just nowhere. Whenever your kid feels that way around their parents, it's because of fucking years of problems and mistrust. And, oh my god, it's really awkward to bring this up, but still. Give me just a second or two. This is, like I said, there's a lot I have that I want to talk about, so trying to unpack it all and trying to remember everything I want to talk about might be just a little bit difficult. Right, I think I can remember a little more. But yeah, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. It really is fear, and it's not for any good reason. Me and my brother, I feel like we always got it, really screwed over by, my dad's, I don't know what the right word is, his anger, I guess. My dad was not a very good person. I don't like talking with him and seeing him either. We were forced to do his fucking farm work all the time, and I don't know exactly how my brother felt about the issue, but I hated doing it so much. It wasn't like I hated it, the farm work itself, but all of our free time was thrown away to this fucking farm work that neither of us necessarily wanted to be doing, and it sucked. This is constant. I remember all of our weekends, they keep fucking and basically make us get up and fucking help him with his fucking farm work. I've heard from a lot of people, and this was when I was younger though, kids that have to do chores and help out, and I don't completely disagree, but I don't feel like you should be putting your kid in an area where they're very clearly uncomfortable with, and pushing it on them, and also threatening them when they don't really want to do it, because that was pretty much the kind of scenario we were left in. If we didn't do it, he told us he'd spank us, and you might think, oh, that doesn't sound bad, but my dad is a very scary person, at least for someone like me. I'm gonna switch, I've got a really bad weakness. But yeah, I was always scared, and my dad did not hold back from spanking. He would always hit us really fucking hard using his belt, and we'd almost always be crying, and the man had no mercy in how he would handle it either. He was swing pretty much full force with his belt every single time he did it, and I remember constant threats when he did it, but he'd always be like, oh, you better be sorry about what you said, or this kind of crap, or whatever. I don't remember all of his things. It wasn't that kind of thing. He would always talk down to us, and I remember his threats were along the lines of literally tearing the skin off our butts, because he's this guy is a psychopath. I'm gonna be honest. My dad is fucking crazy with how fucking little respect he seems to care for or how much danger he can put our lives in. And I say that, like, even though it might not sound like it there, but, like, I've had this man threaten my life on multiple occasions before. It's a very uncomfortable thing to talk about. I don't like him. He's my dad, for God's sake, either. It feels really hard to talk about. It's not easy discussing this, like I said. I don't know why. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's not intentional. It's just... It's... I don't know. I guess it's hard for anybody to bring this shit up, to be honest. It's not like this is the only... the only issue we had, though. There were countless problems that we had with our dad. Well, more on my end, I would guess, but, like, even outside of like, those problems where it felt like there was abuse, like, there was also the fact I felt like I didn't have any support in my life. I felt like I was, like, the goals I wanted didn't actually achieve. I didn't feel like my parents were wanting to support us necessarily. I think my brother wanted to be a vet, and I think they told him that he should be a pharmacist over, like, the money you make, which is fine. That's not necessarily the same as discouraging, but when it came to, like, what I wanted, and I was trying to get into college for being a game designer, oh god, they did not help me in the slightest. If anything, they only made it harder on me, and it felt like they tried to make my path to trying to be successful worse. I felt like I had opposition practically every step of the way, and I couldn't do much about it. Like, I remember when I wanted to go to college, they wouldn't really put any money forward to help me there. They didn't try to help me with scholarships. They wanted me to go to some local, like, community college that I didn't want to, and they basically kept telling me that I couldn't manage to do it. It was really, really heartbreaking and really, really lame to sit there and keep experiencing that, to say the least. That's not, like, the only difficulty with this. I feel like every major point in my life there were some serious problems with this kind of thing. When I was about 16, yeah, I remember wanting to take driver's ed. They didn't help me there either. They pushed me back and they didn't let me take the class. They didn't think I could handle it, and maybe they were right, maybe they weren't. They didn't give me any support though and let me try either. They just wanted to stop me from taking it and even taking a risk with it. I was really upset because I didn't get to take a chance with it, and I didn't get to learn to drive until, I don't actually know how old I was, but I remember I drove some, but I didn't get to drive on my own and properly do any of that until I was much, much older. Like, I was in my 20s. I want to say 22, maybe even 23 or something. It might have been after that, for all I know. I'm not certain of when I finally got that freedom, but it was not great being held back and being prevented from even trying to. They didn't want to take the time out of their days to help me with it. It felt really, really shitty, to be honest. As a result, they had a lot of pull over my life too, because I couldn't just go out on my own and take care of things. We lived in the middle of the fucking country, in the middle of nowhere, so it's not like I was going to be able to ride a bus, even if I mean, it's not like there's any buses in our area to begin with. There's some now, I think, but back then we didn't have proper bus service, just like school buses. Let me check my Pokemon before I say any more. Okay, we got nothing. Let me make sure I slap this onto my counter. Give me a second. I have a bunch of shit opened up on my computer that I have to, like, tend to for just a moment, because I have, like, more stuff open than I wanted, so I have to fix this. Okay, I think we're good. Let me check my account. Yeah, okay, cool. Give me a moment or two, and we'll get back to what we were talking about. My bad. Where were we talking about driving and buses and stuff? Yeah, I couldn't get out on my own. It felt miserable. Relates to like a lot of problems I've had, even in my adult life with my parents. I'm sorry that I'm like talking about this really at length and nobody wants to hear it, but I feel like I need to talk about it, and I don't know where else I can bring this up at. This is like the one place I feel most comfort trying to share and talk about this, because I feel like I have somewhat of an emotional support here. Okay, like I was saying, let me think. It was like this, like most of my time through high school, actually, before I move on to talking about stuff in my adult life, like I was mentioning. I went through a lot of classes I wanted to take and couldn't take them because of my parents. Like, I remember, I think it was around the time when we were doing like the typing classes and stuff, I wanted to do band because I wanted to try doing musical stuff, and they stopped me from taking band. I'm trying to think if there's another one other than just driver's ed and band, but I always liked music and always wanted to try to be able to like make music myself. I'm not sure if I have the talent for it, but I didn't even get the chance to really go for it, and my parents tried to push me away from it, and as a result, I ended up not really following through with what I wanted to do. Let's see. I'm just thinking for just a second or two. Just give me a moment while I'm sitting here. I just want to make sure I'm remembering all this correctly. There's not any others that come to mind. If I remember something, I'll make sure to mention it, but I'm almost certain there were. I had a lot of bad moments like this, and my parents weren't a good like support, I'll put it that way. I've dealt with a lot of problems with them and made things really, really awkward. It was not, I felt like I couldn't rely on them for anything. I dealt with them teasing me and all sorts of shit, like, constantly throughout my life. It was not great. It was absolutely awful to put up, but that wasn't the biggest issue there. This is the thing, there were a lot of problems. I dealt with what feels like even though I didn't have a huge amount of problems with, like, physical problems, I felt like there might have been underlying abuse there, but I can say with all certainty, like, I feel like there were a lot of mental scars that were left over from all the interactions with my parents, just dealing with all these problems, feeling like I got treated. Excuse me, my throat's acting a little funny. Yeah, a lot of mental scarring from not feeling like I only got no support, but I felt like I got treated really poorly a lot of the time, and I feel like it's probably not for just no reason. It's hard to word all this, even though I know what I want to say. But let's just talk about the other thing I was mentioning with my parents that I wanted to bring up. Which is about problems in my adult life, which I can mention in just a moment, because one thing actually that I was going to say earlier, and I completely forgot actually until now. I won't be streaming probably as long today. I'm not really certain. I want to do quite a bit, but I can only see myself managing to do, I don't know, like, I think it was going to be 3-4 hours right now, since I have stuff I have to do in a few hours, so I'm going to have to get out and go deal with that, so there's that problem. So I can go take care of my phone. And then on top of that, I'm sorry, I forgot my browser again. My bad. I'm going to fix that right now before I get carried away. But yeah, I have a lot that I want to do. I feel like I'm going to need to talk with some people over some stuff, and I don't know. I have a lot I need to do around my apartment. I just got out and did grocery shopping yesterday, and I probably need to put my focus on doing some important stuff in my free time today. took away time from my point where I'm normally either sleepy or not very active to stream right now, because I wanted to actually make certain that I was able to stream at a time and I knew I could, because I didn't know how things would be going today. I'm not going to say I won't stream extra in the afternoon, but I don't know for sure right now. And there's no reason for me to say, yeah, I'm going to stream later. It might happen, it might not. I can only manage to do 3 to 4 hours right now just because of my circumstance. And if I feel like I can do more later, then I'll try to. Anyway, like I was saying, I had a lot of problems with my parents, and I feel like there's been just issue after issue in my adult life. They weren't supportive when I had been going through trying to get a job. They berated me and constantly talked down to me about how I wasn't doing good enough, or how I should have a job at that point, that I wasn't trying all this crap. It's pretty much like I was trying to get a job. I was putting everything I had into actually looking for a job, and I wasn't getting any results. None of the jobs I was interested in were providing anything. And you can say what you want. I've seen a lot of people say, like, oh, you shouldn't be picky about a job. Well, some jobs I don't feel like are completely worth it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I don't feel like I want to be working in a dead-end job that I'm not going to like, where there's no room for anything to get any better, like working at a restaurant and working as a cashier, working and cleaning, when I know I won't be able to manage that either. Especially as a janitor, I don't see like much room for improvement. I feel like it's one of those dead-end jobs, or it's a trap. If you take it, you end up not really being able to move along and get anywhere with your job. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm being a little negative, but I didn't think I'd get far taking that kind of job, so I didn't go for it. I'm not good at cleaning anyway, so I don't think I would have been able to hold a job like that. Maybe I'm wrong. It's always been, well, I can clean my apartment decently, but I'm not great about it. I feel like whenever I've tried those kind of things, I end up doing my best, and then I find yelling at me over not getting every spot that I am looking for. So yeah, I can say I don't feel like I belong at a cleaning job. I suck at getting cleaning done properly. Is chat okay? I haven't seen any messages in some time. Also, I was having a lot of things I did for this. I guess I should have already mentioned this, but like I applied the jobs through websites. I think I had a job coach helping me. I remember looking at stuff like every day, going to the interviews as much as I could, and I had dealt with this bullshit from my parents and this horrible attitude. I don't know why. I don't know why I hate using this word, but like it felt like a very, very toxic system where they wouldn't listen to me, and I don't know. They piled up the pressure when I was doing my absolute best to try and get anywhere with the job. It felt like nothing was good enough for them. It was really, really unfortunate that I couldn't do anything about it, but it's not really the end of the world. It sucked. This continued on and on because I couldn't get a job easily for years. It was miserable. Hang on a second. Is chat okay? Is everything working right? Does the viewer count okay? I can't really tell right now. Also, I forgot to accidentally forgot to take down the extra page I had to open for a second to check on a thing on the stats, and I wanted to check something on Chrome, and I forgot to close it. I think it's good now. I don't want to cause any video lag. Stream health okay, by the way? I'm used to... I see I've got some dropped frames. Sorry about that. I hope it's not laggy and hard to watch. I know about there being issues before, and I don't want them to be present now. That was a real annoyance and a real shame dealing with that when I was doing the apple and shiny hunting streams. That just felt like it was frustrating sitting there putting up with it the whole time. I guess I'll go back to what I was talking about, though. Yeah, I dealt with a lot in my life, and I never got along with my parents super well. I felt really, really frustrated by how things went, honestly. I don't know. I wanted to be able to be happy. I want to feel like I had parents that loved me, and I didn't feel like it was quite like that. I just felt like I had cold parents that opposed me at every moment and made me feel miserable when I was trying my absolute best. Which is not a good feeling, to say the least. Right, we're talking about jobs. I remember when I got, like, a job, actually, it wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, but, like, my parents weren't understanding and completely supportive supported my reasoning for, like, wanting to quit the job and whatnot when I was talking to them about problems in my job, or like how I felt frustrated with this job. It was stuff that I felt fairly important and they wouldn't listen. It was like, well, I'm trying to focus on... I didn't want to sit there. I was working at a Kroger. I've already mentioned this before on stream, but I'm going to mention it anyway just for relevance for anybody new who's dropping in and hasn't heard the details of this and shit. Did I remember to get the stream URL? My bad if I forgot. I was gonna link this on my Discord, and I got distracted by this talking for so long. My bad. Let me take care of that while I remember. But yeah. I worked at Kroger, they had me pushing buggies around, and pretty much, and it was not a great job. It was okay. I didn't really enjoy doing it, though. People tend to be kind of shitty at like grocery stores, or sometimes just in general, and trying to deal with this like constant source of abuse from customers wasn't great either. It was really, really lame. It felt like I didn't like working in that particular area of the store. I was okay with like trying to move up to like a cashier position or whatever, but I couldn't even get that, and I was frustrated by it like really, really heavily. That was the one thing I really didn't like about the job. My parents didn't understand that. They got angry at me for quitting the job after some time. And I'd worked at this company for like a year doing this, trying to get somewhere. I was being a good employee, and I was told that I did my job well, but like after like all the dedication I put in and all the effort I did, trying my best to just move up to another position, I still couldn't get anywhere, and I just gave up on it. And my parents, of course, didn't understand a bit of it, and on top of this, like all the abuse you take from the customers, like some people handle it better than others. I didn't feel like I could keep handling like all the assholes I was dealing with on a constant basis who felt like it was okay to just treat the customers shitty, so I ended up wanting to quit after that. I don't know, it was not a pleasant experience dealing with that kind of shit, and it felt bad dealing with that all the time. I remember being so happy when I finally got to move out from with my parents. I just wanted to be away from them, from all the source of feeling like I was just suffering and feeling upset all the time because they treated me so poorly, I felt like, and I don't think they did a lot to help me in that area. They helped me some at most, and I was glad to be free, just to be able to actually think and do stuff on my own without being treated poorly. Ugh, it was miserable. There was something else that what was it I was going to mention? Oh yeah, I think I brought this up. If I haven't, my bad. I remember one thing in particular that makes me really upset with them. That's that, like, a good part of my life was kind of just wasted. It was after I got done with high school. They wanted me to go off to some stupid school, and it wasn't the same as a college or anything. It was for people with disabilities. They wanted me to go to the school, and I think they said something along the lines they wanted to be for getting a job, but I mean, honestly, it feels like an excuse. They never really tried that hard to help me when I was trying to get a job, and they didn't really support me when I asked them for help looking for jobs or applying, and didn't support me for college or any of that stuff. Any of the help I asked them for was turned away, and they wanted to blame me for problems rather than actually helping me when I needed it. Part of it was like to learn like certain life skills, which was entirely their fault because they didn't teach me anything other than fucking farm work, and they got angry at me when I didn't want to do it. And honestly, like, I wouldn't have needed to go out to the school to learn these things. Like, it was like stuff like mopping and sweeping and stuff, and that kind of basic stuff, which I wouldn't have needed if I had been taught this in the first place, instead of them wasting all this fucking time on just sitting here making me do farm work. My relationship with my parents is not great, as you guys can tell. It's not like this was something small. I think I spent like a year or two of my life at the school, and I didn't really particularly like it. I met some friends there, and I got along with like pretty much all the people I knew there, but I didn't like living in big city where the school was at. I kind of hated that aspect of it, and I wanted to go back to my hometown. I didn't want to necessarily be around my parents, but I don't like big cities. I've gone to them multiple times, and I've never done well with them. And it didn't really help being stuck in this city that I didn't really like for 2 years. I was so happy when I could finally just go back, so I could just get back to my normal small hometown and live my life again. Ugh. It was a hellish 2 years, to say the least. Also, the school was like very, very restrictive, so yeah, wasn't the greatest experience going there. It wasn't terrible though. Ugh. Overall, I still didn't like going there, but I don't regret completely caving in and going where they made me go to. I still wouldn't go there if I had a second chance, but I didn't really want to. I didn't like it very much. It felt like I threw away so much of my life. I don't know how you guys feel about that issue, but whenever they ask me about this thing, I personally feel like a year, or actually, yeah, 2 years is a lot from what I went through, and like a year is a lot of time to just throw down the drain like that. A lot of people are quick to brush it off and be like, oh, it'll pass by before you even know it, and no, it won't be that big of a deal. It's like, we only have so long we get to live on this planet. I don't feel like I want to devalue the time I'm alive and fucking throw away a year of my life doing something I know I'm not going to like doing. I don't know. Part of why I didn't like going off to the school, I didn't want to be stuck fucking throwing away a year of my life then, even. But no shinies this time still. Whatever. I'm gonna keep trucking on and doing my absolute best regardless of how this goes. I don't want to give in. It was not great. I've had so many problems. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention about this. It doesn't feel good, though, feeling constant fear. Also feeling like my trust in my parents has been shattered every time I tried to count on them for anything or put any trust in them. It just makes me feel miserable. Thanks for bothering to sit here and listen to me talk about this long. I just wanted to vent a little bit and get this out of my system. I needed to talk to somebody, even if it wasn't like a whole lot. At least having the option to have somebody listen helps. I don't see anybody right now, but I mean, just in the fact that anybody's listened for any period of time helps a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take a moment or two before I throat's acting up, sorry. I, try to think of what else I want to talk about. I think I need just a moment. My head is a little bit cloudy because I've had such a shitty start to my morning, I won't lie. I guess I'll take flying type, since ground can't really hurt flying. Hey, C's, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Alright, cool, that's actually really helpful. I've been going through and doing quite a bit, right now, and... Actually, did I remember to update the counter? I don't remember. Yeah, I did. I updated 14, I think, right. Today's been actually not bad, even though it's not been great. I'm not in terms of how it started, since I've been in a really depressed mood today, but in general, I've gotten 2 Groudon kills with randoms without actually being supported by anybody else right now, so I feel like I've been able to do quite a bit off of just what I've learned from fighting this and bit of skill that I picked up on fighting it and doing a little better. That feels kind of nice to actually have some progress being made. I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible for me to get screwed over by randoms right now, because all it takes is one person being really fucking stupid to screw over the whole group, but it really helps avoiding grass types and also avoiding the ice types a little more to make sure that Groudon can't burn them to death with lava plume. You missed out on a lot, actually, but it's not a big deal. I was going to mention that I just went over a big speech a moment ago. Speech is the right word. I had a bit I had to talk about where I was talking about stuff because I've been having a shitty morning. Had some serious depression come up and start bothering me, and it was a mess. I felt like I've had a really hard morning. My depression has been out of control, and I feel like I remember I was sitting there crying for at least a decent chunk of the morning. It was miserable. It wasn't good. I'm not going to detail too much of the details of what I was talking about, since I literally just went over it, but it all relates to how that same thing I told you guys on Discord recently. I think I brought up on stream with how I got into a fight with my parents, and I'm just feeling miserable and upset because I still feel really angry with them for treating me that way and not apologizing after all these things that have built up. I feel like I don't have a lot of trust left in them to begin, or a lot of trust left anymore. Not that I had a lot to begin with. I feel like I've already lost all reason to ever want to talk to them again. Ugh, it's not easy to bring up that subject. Probably talk about that more than I realize on stream, but yeah, I really don't like talking about my parents because there's a lot of bad memories associated with that. How have you guys been this morning? Hopefully, well, I say morning, it's morning where I'm at, but yeah, I hope you guys have had a better morning than I have. My morning has been very, very, unfortunately, not that great. Also, shit, this may not be a very good pick, actually, now that I went down this way, because this is double fire weakness, but whatever. That's good. It does help a little bit to try to stay positive and hear other people's opinions. I honestly, I feel like I'm probably really benefit from my counseling session this week, and yet I don't even know if I can go to it like I want to. I'm so frustrated about the fact that I probably won't be able to go because I need to be focused on trying to get my phone repaired and staying home where I can check on everything and make sure everything works out. I don't know if I should be taking it back to the place that I took it to originally and try to demand they replace the battery or what, since it didn't seem to work out correctly, but I need to do something about it. I can't utilize it right now. serious issue that's bothering me. People, like, a lot of people make fun of this issue, and I'm not talking about anybody on the stream, but, like, in general, like, a lot of people seem to talk about phones like they're bad, namely the older generation. Like, it's like, I don't know, phones have become integrated into a large part of, I don't know if society is the right word, but I was going to say society, and, like, say that we use phones for a lot. They're also really, really helpful, and we feels like it's sometimes like a need to have it. But like, yeah, I can't just go without my phone because of the way life's structured now. Like, even when I was talking about therapy, I think we're supposed to like text the therapist before we go in. We have to wait on somebody to come outside. I think that's because of the pandemic right now. But like, there's that. There's a lot of apps that use phones. Pretty important to have a phone handy for any type of emergency, and I'm sure there's some stuff I'm forgetting, but like, there's so many things people take for granted about phones nowadays, and they're extremely useful. I'll never understand why a lot of the older generation bitches about phones as much as they do. I hate to say this word, but it feels like it's a lot of the boomers. I know that word's kind of been memed a lot, but like, I feel like it's not an entirely inappropriate word. I think it comes from like the baby boomer phrase. I don't know, I'm not going to get into a weird discussion about how boomers use as a word right now, because I don't feel like I want to. I don't know. I've got to say, I've certainly gotten a lot of use out of mine. Use it for calculator. I also use it to, like, well, that's easy to pass the time. Just pop open an article, check out something you want to look at, and use it for that for a little bit. Also, I use it for my grocery shopping. I use it so I can form, like, a shopping list. By the way, I'm curious, since I have brought up this subject in the first place, how often do you guys use your phones out of, like, curiosity? I'm just wondering if I'm assuming my use of my phone is, like, somewhat normal, maybe less than normal, actually, because I tend to use my computer a lot, and I only really use my phone when I'm out. I don't use it a whole lot. It's more just every now and then when I get a little bit of free time, and when I feel like I actually need it. It does seem like, though, I see a lot of people who use theirs a lot, and they're, like, continually on it. I mean, I'm not surprised whether it's for a small thing or it's for a number of things. Phones are pretty useful. Just a lot of applications you can use for it. I mean that in both the terms of apps and just in general use. Fuck. I think I'm kind of worried I might have to replace my phone, to be honest, because it's not really working great. Not good scenario already. Since you got your laptop. Yeah, I'm the same. I use my laptop for most of my stuff every day. Unless it's like me playing games, but I mean, that's a completely different matter. Where it's like, yeah, why would I want to use a laptop? I mean, I guess that's right, yeah, I'd use a laptop for PC games, but yeah, I mostly use my laptop, and my phone is used very little. It's not even that I don't appreciate using it, I do. In fact, sometimes I can use it for a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's just, I don't have as much need for it. Let me see. Check and see if I missed anything. I don't know. I wonder about that since I mentioned getting a new phone. I've had an iPhone for a long time. I think I've told you guys, unless I'm mistaken. And my iPhone 4S I had, it felt like the battery on that lasted quite a long time. I've had my Google Pixel for like quite a few years, and I think I've had it since it launched and the battery's gone bad. I think there's something wrong though. The battery's gone dead already. I want to check something. Give me just a second. So yeah, released in October. I think I got mine in probably... I don't remember if it was 2017 or 2016 actually. It's only lasted like 4 years in total, so it's not great. He can take it. It's probably best that I just hold on to a Pokemon that's got their resistance to ground type. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't know, it feels frustrating having it break on me like this soon. Sorry if I'm leaning on the same topic too much, not intentional. It's frustrating having my phone stop working on me just all of a sudden over like maybe the last year or something. I don't know when it actually started, but it's been a real hassle, to say the least. Ugh. Let's try to change the topic a little bit and see if there's anything else I want to bring up. There is some good stuff that I want to talk about. I feel like I have quite a bit on my mind though, so I'll just start with whatever. I've been watching some more shows though, and I want to talk about that a little bit. Namely, I started picking back up on the One Piece dub a little bit. I haven't been watching at a super fast pace. I've been getting through more episodes that I haven't seen actually I haven't ever seen before since I wanted to catch up, and I'm glad I am because I've been wanting to watch more of it, just waiting for that dub to come out. It's been really good. It's one of my favorite anime to watch just because I like the powers in it. I like the way they like, what's the right word I'm looking for? The way they set up the universe where you can like see each character. I like seeing how they build everything, and I like just all the character arcs, all the powers, all these kind of things. One Piece does that really good. Makes you feel like you can see a really, really neat, really different world with like pirates in it. It's good. And all the villains that have come up are interesting. It's something I haven't seen in a lot of forms of media actually, where they switch villains like fairly frequently, because I feel like a lot of shows I watch, there's like one particular villain that's always the highlight, and then there's like a bunch of smaller villains that'll be introduced over time as you watch the show that are like put into the spotlight every now and then. I don't know about you guys. I'm curious if you guys can like relate on this subject when we're talking about shows. Like, in your experience, out of the stuff you've watched, would you say you've seen more shows where it's like, if you're watching a show with like, say it's a show about like, what's the right word, like a show about heroes or whatever, see the same villain as like the main focus of the main antagonist, or see a bunch of villains? That's something I like about One Piece, is it doesn't feel like there's a real main antagonist. There's one character that's like a kind of focused as an antagonist, and it's like he's not really put into the limelight that much. I like how they have built the series up though, and there's always some new villain, and every villain comes out more interesting and more cruel and evil than the last usually. Makes it very, very good to keep up and watch the villains and see just how their motivation is. Also see the characters like evolve as they're fighting them, and see how they either evolve their motivation or even just develop their character more. Something I like a lot. Everything, let me, hold on a second. Is everything okay in the chat? Just gotta check. I think so, just, I'm not really super certain at the moment. Also, fuck, we're nearly losing, and we had a type advantage, and now it's like so close to us dying. Fuck, I don't want to lose this way. Fuck. Even if we live the next turn, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I'm worried. Oh wow, we actually dodged it. That was lucky as fuck. I've been watching two shows obviously what I just mentioned in One Piece, it's been really, really good so far, even though I haven't been watching it as much as I intended to. That's one thing. And then on top of that, I've been watching that My Hero Academia stuff that I had been talking about, and I watched. I really like that. I haven't talked about it too much, but I've talked about it a little bit, I think. Checking on stuff on Discord, that's okay. Just wondering to make sure if everything's okay in the chat, because it feels like it's easy to not be certain if everything's working, because you see, like, periods of inactivity and don't really know whether or not it's the chat it not working or whether or not there's just silence in the chat. Have to be certain. That's definitely a problem for a smaller streamer, at least. Ugh. But yeah, I've been watching My Hero Academia a lot, and I've been enjoying it. It's weird how, I guess I'm not the only one who does this. Also, hell yeah, another kill already. This is going much better, and I mean much better. Give me a second. Let me save this. Cool, that should be up to 15. Yes. Yeah, I've been watching My Hero Academia, and I've been, like, binge watching it because it's so good. I remember I started it, like, probably this month, and maybe it was last month, but I've been watching it, and I can't help but, like, continually watching more, even when I tell myself I want to stop watching for a little bit to preserve, like, some extra to watch later. It's just good. Episodes are hooking, and I'm a sucker for seeing a good storyline. I mean, they have, like, a plot thread dangling, and you see like a to be continued moment. It's like, yeah, I wanted to see what happens instead of actually missing out and waiting until later to see what it's going to happen in the episode. Still nothing. Damn. Alright, cool. Sounds good. I'll be more than happy to have a little bit of help in the raids. Actually, let's see, where was I? Oh, I was talking about the show a little bit. I've got to say, I avoided the show for the longest time, and yet I loved watching it. So good now that I actually checked it out. The character development is amazingly good. And, like, also on top of that, just the story, fantastic. I feel like I'm watching a show with some god-tier writing where all the characters are really, really well fleshed out, really, really well thought of, and, like, it all flows well. It all feels like it's really believable, more than, like, most anime I've seen, and it feels like I actually see something human and something and that I can sort of relate to in some of the characters. It's really good, honestly. Like, one of my favorite shows I picked up in some time, I think. Hate school. Are you doing, like, have to do with, like, schoolwork right now, or is it just talking in general? I don't really blame you. When I was younger in school, I hated it pretty much until I graduated. I didn't really enjoy school. The only thing I liked about school, and I think this goes for probably a number of people, is like one of the few decent things about going to school was the fact that I had friends at school, and it was good to be able to talk to friends. Other than that, school really sucked, honestly. Everything to do with school. I don't really blame you there. If we're talking like shows though, and like shows that have a school in like their premises, I don't feel like it necessarily takes away from the show just because it has a school involved in it. Like, this show feels like it's pretty good. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I like it a lot. Characters are fantastic. I love seeing each character evolve as the show gets. It's like, or seeing the show continue and like seeing each character evolve. Like I said, like getting stronger as the show progresses. It feels really nice to see a show where, it's the right word, I guess I should just say, feels like there's a lot of growth and a lot of good writing. And plus, the story is really believable, even though it's weird to say. Like, I feel like the universe is something that's something I understand and can believe, like, feeling realistic. It's literally like what everyday life would be like if we ended up in a world where, like superpowers were the norm, which is actually a really, really interesting concept, and it's done right. I mean, obviously, like, hero shows can be a dime a dozen and really goddamn boring, but I felt like something about this show ended up really connecting with me. I don't know what in particular. I guess I'd say the way it's thought out makes sense. Every character has like a little quirk, and they're all different. Some's being like based on their parents, and some are just weird offshoots that end up being like sudden things they developed on their own instead of coming from anywhere necessarily. It makes sense with that kind of narrative. By the way, I'm curious to hear about this. I want to talk about this show more, and for some reason I can't really think on what to say right now, so I'm going to wait a little bit before I bring it up again. But, like, I'm curious, when you guys watch shows, do you guys typically like to watch shows slowly, or do you guys find yourself binge watching shows a lot? I'd say for me it does kind of depend on what I'm watching, but in a lot of my experiences when I pick up a show I like, I usually end up binging and watching like all the show over like a day or two. I'm not great about pacing myself where I watch like a small amount of a show and only a small amount. Although, to be honest, I guess that kind of helps out when it comes to really big shows. If you're watching something with a lot of episodes that has like not the fastest pace, like there's a lot there to check out, then yeah, binge watching can be actually beneficial to actually getting through it and not sitting there watching like barely any content and taking like years to finish something when you just want to watch it. Like I watched One Piece, yeah, and if I didn't binge watch One Piece, then I would probably be watching it for fucking forever. And actually, I guess when I was watching it originally, like I mentioned on Toonami, I didn't really watch it on binge. That's because I just watched it whenever it came on instead of watching it like commonly. I guess I did that with a few shows where I would just watch it when I had the opportunity. There was something nice about that back in the day, just being able to watch a show like that, and also having the option to just sit down and watch these like weekly anime that popped up on like certain networks and watch those and enjoy them. There were some really good episodic shows, or maybe episodic's not the right word, but you get what I'm trying to say with that. Some really good shows out there, and their storylines were pretty damn interesting. Depends. Oh shit, what? Hold on a second, did my stream fucking die? I'm sorry if that's the case. I'm having some issues, it seems, today, which I don't know if I should try restarting or what. Hang on just a second or two before we actually continue with anything. I'm just concerned because I'm having a lot of frame drops for no reason. I think I'm gonna do like a really quick result from like a speed test and just see what's going on with that and see if there's anything popping up when I do this. But I've noticed I saw like several frame drops, even if there's not anything going on right now. Okay, it didn't die, that's good. I saw for a second where YouTube told me that there was no data going through and that it was about to stop the stream, so as a result of that, naturally there was a bit of panic. Let's see, do I go for... yeah, I think I'll just say fucking do Max Quake. Probably strongest way to get rid of this fucking thing right now anyway. Thank God. I'm just checking on that. Let me check on that speed test thing really quick. That's not good if I'm seeing this right, because it says my upload speed is like 3 something megabyte at the moment, and that's pretty low, although it could be because I'm streaming. I don't know. I don't know if it... I guess that makes sense that, yeah, I'd be stressed out a little bit while I'm streaming, but that doesn't explain why it's dropping. Whatever. Fucking goddamn. Internet can be goddamn confusing sometimes. Fucking dying randomly without any real warning for no reason. Having to deal with, like, continual problems that keep fucking cropping up. It's a real frustration, especially for anybody who live streams. Ugh. God. It's one thing I'll never miss about streaming is fucking dealing with goddamn tech issues. Anyway, where were we? We're talking about... Oh yeah, we're talking about, like, shows and stuff. You guys have any networks you, like, watch very frequently? I'm just curious for, like, potentially, whether it be, like, cartoons or shows you like to watch, like, stuff you like to watch very often. Just curious to hear about this. I had a lot that I tuned into back in the day I could talk about, probably. Kind of want to talk about that a little bit. The only quality your internet can handle is 1p. Yikes. I know what that's like, though, being stuck with trash to your internet. I can relate. Not a great feeling, to say the least. Right. When actually, I don't know if that's different or not. I was gonna say, like... I mainly, when I say that, I was mainly talking about, like Nickelodeon or, like, Cartoon Network or whatever, like a place that has, like, a bunch of different shows to watch, although I guess there's some channels that dedicate themselves to running one show specifically. I had a lot of stuff that I watched in the day that I kept up with. I used to watch a lot of Cartoon Network, and I still watch it quite a bit when I get a chance to, at least, although not really too big on Cartoon Network. I feel like Cartoon Network has kind of had a fall from grace over the years. Disney Plus. Yeah, I liked Disney stuff well enough when I was a kid, and I don't imagine their Disney Plus catalog's too bad, as long as they've got a lot of their good shows on there. I watched some of it before, and it was pretty good. Speaking of Disney Plus, I forget if I've asked or not, and I probably did, but, like, anybody here who's got it know if they've updated their catalog to have, like, some of their other shows? Like, for instance, and I was at my brother's the last time I was watching it, I think I remember checking, and I was looking for House of Mouse on their shows, and they didn't have it there. That was something I found actually shocking, just because of the fact it was like a somewhat popular show back in the day. It wasn't bad, and it was a show about Mickey Mouse. It felt like it was actually like a really good show that had a pretty big following, and you'd think anything that was like focused on Mickey especially would end up being like on Disney's network relatively quickly. I was surprised, like, one of my favorites from back in the day was missing there when I checked it. And then quite a few other things that I wanted to look at. They don't have the old DuckTales series on there either. At least they didn't when I checked on it. They just had the reboot version. That made me feel just a slight bit of disappointment, because I wanted to see those shows when I was checking on there. I don't know. Might just be me. Oh, man. So, I'm curious, what's your guys' like favorites in general? If you're still like Disney Plus, you don't have to say anything more, but like, I remember back in the day, one thing I loved about like watching TV before, I remember I would get on, like every Saturday, I'd like to just sit down and watch Toonami a lot. That was one of the highlights of like just how my weekends went. I feel like I might be exaggerating that a little bit, but like, I always enjoyed going on, checking out what was on Toonami and seeing all the shows, and even better when they brought in a new show on the block, even though Usually when they brought in a new show, it meant something was getting taken off the air, which was usually disappointing. And I guess there were a few points where it wasn't bad, but I remember being sad to see a show go from there. I had a lot of really good memories that came from watching stuff on Toonami. I think I was probably around probably close to the starting point of when Toonami was. I don't remember what year it started. Actually, I'm curious about that. Let's do a little bit of research on the stream because I'm genuinely interested in seeing this. What year did Toonami start? $1997 according to Google, so I would have been 5 by that point. So yeah, I could have totally been excuse me, remembering that correctly and watching things since I was 5. That sounds like it's not super far off. I remember watching it and loving every bit of Toonami. Really fucking amazing network. So many good moments. I've watched so many shows on there. I watched, let's see, Dragon Ball Z. Who could forget about Dragon Ball Z? At least out of anybody who's actually watched it, because it was one of the big OG animes that everybody they saw and talked about pretty much all the time. I remember when it came to school and stuff and talking about shows everyone watched and whatnot. Especially when it came to Toonami, it was always some discussion going on about Dragon Ball, because it was so fucking long and it took forever to go through episodes, but also all the plot lines were super interesting, and it was always fun to watch the action and see more of it. Everybody always wanted to talk about it. I was definitely one of the Dragon Ball fanboys back in the day. I enjoyed seeing more and more of it. I don't miss that slow as shit pacing, though. That's one thing. You guys have any big anime you remember out of curiosity, just you watch really long anime that you really enjoy? Curious to hear opinions on this exact matter. I've seen a lot of good anime when I was younger. That was a source of part of my entertainment was checking out all these different shows that were on in Toonami or wherever. I don't think it was on Toonami, and I'm pretty sure I already brought it up before, but one show I particularly remember really strongly was Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a favorite. I really loved watching Yu-Gi-Oh! There were so many good seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I couldn't replace any of my time watching Yu-Gi-Oh! It was just enjoyable from beginning to the end, and I haven't watched it in a while, but I loved it. It was great. I need to sit down and watch it again. Pokemon anime? Interesting. I mean, I think a lot of people have watched that. Pokemon anime is long and has gone for a long time. Had some interesting plot lines in there, although it's weird watching it and sometimes it feels like there's some really similar points in the anime. It might just be me. Before I say anything, I was gonna say any. Ooh, excuse me. I don't know why. Any others you guys want to bring up? Not it matters that much. Just thought I'd mention this. I have a lot that I wanted to talk about, so I figured bringing up as many good shows we can remember as possible would be fun, and talking about that kind of stuff. Like I said, I remember the Pokemon anime decently. I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, I remember Dragon Ball. All these shows, there were a lot of good ones. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a really amazing show, and honestly, I feel probably a bit of a byproduct of its time. Maybe that's not the right wording for it specifically, but I don't feel Yu-Gi-Oh!, at least in today's what's that word? I guess just culture, audience, whatever, or not audience, excuse me. I feel nowadays Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the kind of thing that probably wouldn't have caught on with the same amount of popularity that it did back in the day. But I still feel Yu-Gi-Oh! Is incredible, and God, it had a good legacy. Fucking amazing show. I need to sit down and watch it if I ever get around to what I said I would, which it's really been me being bad with time, where we haven't watched any shows yet. Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be fun to check out. Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry's not really anime, but yeah, I can and remember Tom and Jerry. I don't really... I have some particular opinions that I don't really like about Tom and Jerry that I'm going to have to air eventually, and I'll save that for just a little bit before I mention it. Wait a second. Okay, I'm just checking this. Okay, what is Robot Boy? What's Robot Boy? I haven't heard of that. I'm actually not certain. I'm going to have to Google this really quickly. I feel like I've heard of this somewhere. That there's a lot of shows about robot characters, so they all blend together sometimes. Oh wait, I think I'm checking this on Google, and I think I remember this to an extent. I haven't seen much of it. Yeah, I think I've seen some of this. I remember, like, bits and pieces, but none of it was, like, really stuff I remember super well, specifically because of the fact that I only saw, like, so much of it. Apparently it was an old Cartoon Network show. Makes sense that I wouldn't remember it amazingly well. Cartoon Network went through a lot of shows, and some were higher quality than others, and not the absolute best. Might have to check that a little later when I get some time, just to see how much I remembered how well it actually was. But yeah. Actually, you know, I was mentioning, when I said that I was actually talking specifically anime, but even then, I don't mind talking other series. I am perfectly fine discussing others. Actually, well, why not? I'm trying to remember what I was talking about this. There's something I was going to mention. There are a lot of shows I remember on Cartoon Network that are really good. By the way, how many of you guys seem like a lot of the older shows on Cartoon Network? I'm curious. Let me get this marked again before I forget. I'm a little bit scatterbrained at the moment. I shouldn't be, but not completely focused. Let me mark the 16th one. I've grown up with a lot of shows, and I've talked on stream about them. I don't remember how many people have heard about this, but I have a lot of good memories from old shows on Cartoon Network that I've watched. Here's some that I watched that I feel like are really good. You guys just feel free to, like, mention if you've watched them or not. Ed, Edd and Eddy, really fucking amazing show. I love that show, and it's probably one of my favorites from Cartoon Network. Always will be. Courage of the Cowardly Dog. Fucking top tier cartoon that I really goddamn love. Let's see, what else is there that comes to mind? Cow and Chicken was okay, but I never really got into it. It was a weird show. I don't know, I didn't feel anything when I watched it. Kind of stupid humor. It wasn't really the most funny. Dexter's Laboratory was fucking good stuff. I remembered really enjoying Dexter's Laboratory. That show was great. The plot lines were really well thought out. But they were genuinely amazing to watch. It just made it interesting. It wasn't as good as Ed, Edd and Eddy in my opinion, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, Ed, Edd and Eddy really is like 20 out of 10. I enjoy every episode of Ed, Edd and Eddy. Absolutely a total gem of a show. Also, I don't know if it's started specifically on Cartoon Network, but Looney Tunes, not any of the other variants, like the weird reboot they did where they tried to focus a story for whatever reason. Like, the original Looney Tunes was a fucking goddamn masterpiece in my opinion. Looney Tunes was so good. They'd struck a perfect balance between, like, comedy and, like, being serious, pretty much. They always knew how to handle stuff with their audience. It felt like it wasn't completely perfect, but I never really felt like I didn't enjoy watching Looney Tunes. The only problem I have with Looney Tunes is, like, one specific issue, and that was related to, like, the fact that this was a problem with, like, older cartoons in general, and that's the fact that I feel like when it comes to older cartoons, sometimes older cartoons had a serious issue of not knowing when the fuck to actually hold back. Like, sometimes the violence in these shows got a little bit bad and a little too hard to keep watching. It's the kind of humor where it's more creepy and kind of grotesque than it actually is funny, and it made me feel freaked out watching it than anything. Like, I genuinely didn't enjoy that about certain older shows. Family told you were watching a movie. Alright, man. Kinda wish you could hang out for longer and chat, but I understand. I'll still be here for at least a little while. I'm gonna be on for... I'm not actually sure. Right now, I'm probably gonna only go for like 3 hours. I'd like to go for longer, but I have stuff I need to do today, and then once I get done with that, I might come back for streaming more. I don't know, but right now I don't feel like I can do a long stream at this point right away, and later if I come back it'll probably be short again. But I mean, I'm gonna stream for another hour and a half or so at least, since we're nearly about that point. Later though, hope you enjoy your movie. It was good chatting, at the least, as long as we could. I guess I'll continue talking about that subject for a little bit, since I was going on about this and I didn't really finish it. And it's also not something I can think of like ever discussing on stream as far as I can remember. I never liked that a lot about old cartoons. Like I was saying, I found it really creepy. They always would go like way too far with violence, and sometimes it wasn't really a big deal because it doesn't always push too far, but there were points where it just got to be hard to watch, and I couldn't stomach sitting there watching it. I remember like Tom and Jerry, and there were some moments in that show I really didn't like, and that's why I didn't watch it very much. I didn't like watching all the fucking creepy, disturbing, like sort of freak out humor almost, where they would do stuff like, you'd see Tom has his fucking tail get chopped off at one point, or on top of that, there's stuff like, let's see, what else was there? They shot him up in a fucking firecracker once and like killed him that way. I'm pretty sure there's stuff like him getting chopped up by a sword, all these different deaths. It's like all these creepy, fucked up ways they kill their character off, and like all these nasty, implied violence type things going on, I guess is the right word. I don't know entirely what the right way to phrase this is, but like, yeah, it's all this stuff that ended up being kind of disturbing and took away from my enjoyment of the show, and I'm not surprised I ended up not liking it as a result of it. It's not to say there weren't some good episodes. There were certainly some fun times, some decent moments where I actually enjoyed watching, but there were also an equally large amount of points where I found myself like really, really uncomfortable sitting down watching Tom and Jerry as a result. Ugh. I don't know. Looney Tunes had that same issue with some of its episodes. Stuff that I didn't really like a whole lot. Stuff that I found really goddamn weird. I don't know if it was violent or anything. I remember one episode where there was like a really weird plot line, like Porky Pig got like, what the fuck is going on outside? Hold on a second. I'm sorry that noise is getting picked up by my mic. I think there's like somebody's like mowing the lawn outside the apartment or something right now, and it's like it's probably causing a bit of a noise disturbance and loud. I might mute my mic in a second, I don't know. Let me check something. Can't really do anything about that. I might have to look into like a noise gate or something. I don't know. I need to do something. I feel like it feels like it's problem with like the apartment's more than it needs to be. It's not really a big deal, but yeah, I don't want to have shit interrupting my mic right now, especially. Yeah, it's annoying. It's whatever though. Where was I though? I got a little bit sidetracked at the moment. I was talking about quite a bit. All right, Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes was good though. I liked it. There was a lot that was good about it. Remember there was one episode where like Porky Pig got kicked out of his house by like a bunch of cats. He was like angry as he couldn't sleep, and he kept trying to get rid of them. And at the end, he like got stuck sleeping outside or something. It was a really weird episode. Something about that I didn't like. Like overall, I don't remember the specific details, but I have to rewatch it to see like what it was. I think I mentioned some of the episodes I didn't like. There was one where it's like Bugs trying to interrupt like some musician, and it ended up Bugs getting beaten up really badly, and the violence in the episode was nasty and a little creepy, not in a good way either. It was just really, really fucking weird and disturbing at a few points. I don't remember the details but super well. I think I blacked out some of the worst episodes. Also, I remember like, let's see, what was it? Oh yeah, there was an episode where Daffy got surrounded by like serial killers. It was literally like Daffy went to hell over something, like some killer was following me, died, and then there's surrounded by all sorts of like serial killers and other like creepy monsters from like history or like fiction and shit. And it was a little on the disturbing side too. That's something I remember in a lot of older shows, and I didn't like very much. Not a fun topic to discuss. Maybe I have talked about this on stream before. If I'm repeating the same topic again, I apologize. It's kind of easy to forget what I've brought up and what I haven't sometimes. Yeah, that's annoying. I'm gonna mute my microphone for just a little bit. I'm gonna get up and take a quick moment away from the computer. I might end up putting the BRB up. Probably not. Like, I want to fix my mic where you guys can hear me now, obviously. But, like, yeah, I'm gonna actually go look outside my window just to see what the fuck is actually going on and why there's so much noise right now. It's, like, coming really close to my window multiple times. I don't know if they're mowing or what, but they're really close to the window, it feels like. I'm assuming there's, like, something important going on. I don't know. I remember I looked out once and there were literally like chopping down trees or something, and that was like a few weeks ago. Wondering if that's maybe what the fuck is going on now. I'd be surprised, but not that surprised. Oh, fuck, I got too much shit in my room. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just wanted to know what that was actually from. I can't even tell, like, I think it's because of the fact, like, different engines on shit sounds really similar to me. Maybe I'm mistaken. Normally I can tell a lawnmower apart, but, like, sometimes I can't, and I was curious if that was a lawnmower I was hearing or what, and wondering what was going on. That's all it was. Whatever, not a big deal. I'm sure it'll be gone after like another hour or something, maybe. Hopefully, anyway. Otherwise, it's going to be really annoying having that going in the background of my stream like the entire time I'm trying to focus. Actually, I want to get a noise gate or something like that for my... Excuse me, my nose is bothering me again. But yeah, I need to get a noise gate or something for my mic. The problem is, since I have a laptop, I mean... I don't know how I can get a noise gate that actually, like, filters out noise on my computer like it's literally built-in microphone on the laptop. I don't know how I would work with a noise gate. Or maybe noise gate isn't the right word, but, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, those kind of things you can buy where it's literally, like, you buy a thing that, like, muffles noise coming towards a computer, like it stops the noise from coming through. I need something like that. I think there's like maybe things you can do with like OBS and filters, but I'm not really dead certain about that, and I don't know. I need something to deal with this problem. I would assume buying hardware might be the right idea, but I have no idea. Something to stop all the noise that's coming through right now and causing problems. Hey, Ember. Welcome to stream. Glad you're back. At least yeah, you went okay, that's right. Yeah. Welcome back. I didn't eat and then join. Cool. Sounds good. Bye, Amy. Give me just a second, actually, guys. I'm gonna move my where I'm sitting. I'm in a spot where my back is not feeling amazing right now. Also, I'm supposed to be going out to take care of business with my phone by like 2 or 3 because I'm meeting up with my aunt over something too, so I'm going to have to pay close attention to the time just as a result of that. I don't want to be late for my plans, but I think that'll be under control. That's still like several hours away. It's only like 11:20 right now, but just trying to keep my focus on the time too while I'm playing. We got another hour and a half, like I said, then we'll be stopping, so we still got quite a bit. Okay, let me fix my position, like I said. Ugh, fuck. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think I'm feeling fine now. Yeah, that should work. Okay, cool. Right. Phew. Actually, I just thought of something that I can talk about for a moment. I was going to mention something I noticed by looking on, like, Twitch, actually. Like, I noticed that, like, I've seen a lot of people playing the new Call of Duty game recently. I think I heard about that being in beta, like, over, like, the past few months. Is that, like, just suddenly released, like, a full release, or is this has this been out for some time? I'm not actually sure. I thought the game had been... I thought that maybe they'd already had it out for a little bit. I don't know. I thought I had suddenly saw, like, a lot of people, like, playing it, though. I saw at least 2 people that I watch regularly that don't play Call of Duty have both picked up and play the new one when it, like, just over the past few days. I was wondering if maybe it went out of, like, its beta phase or something. Seeing so many ads of it and you're already sick of it. I don't really blame you. It's just the way the internet is right now with all these fucking ads for all this shit. I think I saw quite a few Call of Duty ads myself, but not any recently, honestly. I'm so angry with Twitch. I need to go check on my, like, uBlocks. God damn it, I hate that's going to be constantly in the background of my microphone, but whatever, as long as it's not that loud. But yeah, like, I've just kind of lived with the fact that I can't really do anything about the ads right now. I've been sitting there just fucking letting my uBlock stay off just so I don't end up getting fucking tormented by, like, a shit ton of ads while I'm trying to watch. It is not a fun experience, and it's going on Twitch and then being bombed by, like, a shitload of ads. Apparently they made a excuse me, a policy change, like, not that long ago, and they were intentionally putting up this, like, screen to give, like, more of these little ad things to anybody who had uBlock or any type of extension, like, installed for stopping ads. I fucking hate Twitch. Like, they can't just fucking accept that people don't like the ads and that it's probably causing them more issue than not, than sit here and keep battling this. They're making people really, really angry with them. Thankfully, when I turned my, like, ad blocker off, it hasn't been terrible. It's not been great, but I haven't been getting, like, too many. It's been, like, 1 at the start, maybe, when I tune in, and then maybe 1 or 2 during any BRB breaks. Only, like, a few people I've watched put up, like, a shitload of ads, thankfully. I'm not happy about that, though. I am still really annoyed that Twitch doesn't know when to fucking back off and stop with the fucking ads. They seem to be really, really obsessed with shoving ads down everyone's throats. Ugh. It's funny, YouTube just doesn't seem to give a shit. They seem to be fine working around it and letting people use ad blockers. I'm not actually sure. I guess they get their money from different revenues. I would assume that Twitch has plenty to work with, though. I don't know why they need to fucking go for ads to fucking get more money. I hope I'm not going to regret bothering to bring this up, but, like, since this is probably something we can talk about a little bit, like, what's the most annoying ads that you guys have had to see on Twitch lately? I like all their shitty ads, especially with their anti-ad block thing they're doing right now. I remember specifically that those McDonald's commercials were really fucking prevalent, especially when it came to, like, the ad blockers being broken for the first few days. Fucking, out of all the ads, I remember seeing fucking continually that goddamn Travis Scott burger shit kept popping up, like, as like a constant ad that was on all the time. I got so sick of seeing that on Twitch, and even now there's a lot of fucking McDonald's ads that are still fucking bothering you over pointless shit, like how they're offering delivery right now, which I could not give a single shit about McDonald's delivery. I feel like if I'm gonna get something delivered, I'd probably go for something higher quality than McDonald's, to be honest. Same with their spicy chicken. Their whole ads in general are just fucking annoying, but it's not like it's the worst. I think the biggest issue with it is Twitch makes their ads fucking intrusive as all hell, and it makes it really goddamn annoying trying to watch, like, anything on Twitch, and they fucking bomb you with ads. They feel like they just fucking ruin the experience because they just pop up out of nowhere and fucking get in the way of watching. But that's just me. Just voicing a complaint I wanted to get out of my system and wanted to bring up while it was on my mind. How are we doing on our deaths right now? Are we ahead of Groudon, or are we about to lose? Oh, shit. Oh, thank God. For a second, I thought we'd actually lost our last Pokemon already. Let me think here. I need to be very careful about that. Snick Pyro Whip's good, but, like, I'm nervous right now. We're on the verge of death, and I don't want that. I'm trying to think. There was something else I was thinking about. I guess we can talk about something, and that is on my mind that I just thought of, actually. Anybody play any, like, interesting games last month? I mentioned that because I know Halloween was last month, and also on top of that, like, a lot of games that were either Halloween themed or a lot of games that were, like, also just like horror games getting released throughout, like, last month. I think it's like kind of a tradition at this point to see like a bunch of Halloween stuff all pop up and a bunch of horror stuff all get released in October. There was some pretty decent stuff. I think didn't like a new Amnesia game get released last month? I haven't played it, but I remember seeing a lot of people stream it, actually, so I've definitely had a little bit of interest in that. That's something I've always liked about every year, and it's also part of why I like streaming during Halloween if I have the opportunity. Unfortunately, things didn't pan out that way this year, but, like, there's something nice about just messing around and seeing all the stuff people do for Halloween to make the season feel a little bit more special. Devs go out of their way to update their games. It's some fun updates to check out. There's new games getting released, and there's a lot of horror games or stuff that get put on sale. There's always something to look into around that period. You know, I've never actually played any of, like, the Amnesia games. I actually kind of want to, just a little bit. I'm not very gotten any... Actually, I've got any of them, and I'm not very good at dealing with, like, horror games in general, so I don't know if that'll ever happen. Right, no shinies, of course. I already know what Groudon looks like, obviously, by the GIF, so I don't know what to pay attention for or when I end up seeing a shiny pop up finally. Still haven't gotten out of bed. I know how that feels. At least with depression sometimes, like it's bad because it's like you feel like you don't even have the motivation to get out of bed. Ugh. I'm surprised how well this has gone today, actually, in terms of raids. I mentioned it earlier, but I can't stress it enough. For one time, we've actually had a day where I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think every single Groudon raid I've done so far today has actually resulted in me winning. That's a rarity. Every day I've been doing this, I've had issues for the most part, and this time we're able to actually go through and not have any issues. That's a very, very blessed scenario that we're actually able to sit here and blitz through all of our encounters with it. I mean, I've gotten better at figuring out how to fight it, but it's still hard even if you know what you're doing. Ugh. Good shit, I'm glad I'm actually winning this time. Yeah, ugh, that's the worst, when you have a fucking day that's complete shit and you feel like you don't have motivation to get out of your bed, for God's sake, although I don't feel like that's something that's necessarily super common. I'm not saying that's the same reason, I'm just saying it's something I feel like I experience a lot. Ugh, God. By the way, since we talked... Oh, why are we taking so long to get this done? Did somebody disconnect their game just so they can fucking pass an encounter? Like, really? We're doing good and then potentially somebody may have just fucking disconnected just to be lazy? It's genuinely better in most scenarios to fucking go through and actually fight all of the targets with, like, human players, and of course somebody did okay, I don't know what happened, whether or not my internet died or what, I don't know if that's the case. I think if one person dies, it could actually, like, throw out the connection for everyone, but, like, what, why am I alone now? Alright, whatever, I guess. I'll go ahead and Dynamax, lovely. BRB? Alright, I understand. I'll still be here when you get back. Gonna make sure I keep fucking pushing on for this and try to do my best to see if I can get this goddamn Groudon. Really frustrated about the slowness while this is going, but whatever. Ugh. Oh, fuck. Actually, I think I'm gonna take a slight moment off of the stream. Probably not gonna put a BRB up because I don't think it'll take more than like 2 to 3 minutes at absolute most. I'm gonna get some medicine though, I think, after I do that. I'm gonna wait until I finish the Groudon raid and use that time to make certain I get some pills and put it in my nasal spray I usually use. I feel like my nose is bothering me a little bit, so yeah, I'd like to take that just to stop the allergy problems. It's not really bad, but the sniffles have been bothering me enough that I don't want it to keep fucking getting worse and worse. Excuse me, ugh. Feels not great, to say the least, ugh. I hate saying it like, ugh. I had something on my tongue for a second. I fucking hate that feeling. I don't know if you guys can relate. Feels really nasty when you get like a hair stuck on your tongue or something. It just doesn't feel pleasant to be going about your day and then all of a sudden, oh, there's a fucking hair that somehow made its way into my mouth and onto my tongue. Feels gross. Ugh. Be that way with anything though, not just hair. It just feels like hair's the most common culprit of that shit. Ugh. Right. I was going to talk about the horror game thing a little bit more. I'm not good with horror games. I want to stream some eventually, though. I do like playing them every now and then. I think one series I've had... excuse me, one series I've had a lot of interest in that I've never played. I'd like to check out maybe I think it's Penumbra games. Yeah, I'd like to play those and see how things go checking out those games. Those seem like they'd be fun time to play. I should have went for the dark type. Whatever. Doesn't matter that much. But yeah, I want to check that series out at some point. Seems like a good series by the same guys who made Amnesia and what's it called? Soma? Yeah, that's it. My bad. Those are both really good, and I'd like to see that series just because I've had a lot of interest in actually playing Penumbra over the years and never bothered to check it out. So it's like maybe on stream at some point if I ever feel like I can. That'd be good. I've had a lot of them that I've never checked out because I'm bad at playing horror games. Any of you guys have checked out, you remember, or anything big you played that you want to talk about, I guess? I don't know, I'm just trying to think here for a second. I'm sorry if my wording's not perfect. I have no one that's like really big that I've never really personally been too interested in playing it, but I've seen Outlast a lot, and like the series, I have a bit of interest in it, but I don't know if I would ever want to play it. Outlast has some creepy fucking stuff in it, though. Like the characters that chase you in Outlast are genuinely fucking disturbing, and all the body horror that comes in it is pretty damn bad. Seems like really, really well-built horror games, though. Aren't they making an Outlast 3 right now, or did that already release, actually? I could have sworn they made one, like, or that they were working on the one, like, and then it was supposed to release really soon if it didn't already. Let's see what Google says. I'm curious about this since I came on the topic of horror games. Outlast, let's see. Let's see. Apparently it's releasing in 2021, and it says TBA, which is interesting, because, yeah, I was right. It says that it was going to be 2020, but I guess they delayed it. In fact, I think I remember something along the lines of, like, being PS4 and Switch or something. Interesting. Oh, shit, I got distracted. That was my fault, although right now I'm playing with CPUs, so whatever. Ugh. Well, maybe one day. I don't know. I remember the first game really well because it was like a lot of people talked about it, and I don't remember anything about Outlast 2 at all. I don't know if I've seen that much of it either, though. That's something I'm not a big fan of, is like when companies insist on making sequels and then the sequels to the games they made end up not being that interesting. I don't know. I feel like that happens quite a bit. I don't know. I just like seeing really good sequels, and I wish we could say that happened more, but it doesn't feel like it does. Nothing worse than seeing a sequel that's built up with like a lot of hype that just ends up being really lame. So we're on the topic of horror games and sequels, like, actually, I remember that, what was it? Oh yeah, Amnesia had that. Amnesia, was it A Machine for Pigs, the name or something? They made that game, and I think it was made by a different team, but that was like really weird, and I don't think that game got a lot of great reception. I'm pretty sure the general reception to that game was an overwhelmingly meh reception. The game was supposedly not that interesting. Don't really blame anybody for feeling that way anyway. Seemed like it really wasn't that exciting of a game. I'm gonna try to switch this. Also, how did the bots fucking buffer to try and contest the Pokemon up ahead when we hadn't even actually fucking reached it yet? That doesn't even make any sense. I just wanted to take the Pokemon so I could try to keep our team from getting taken by having too many weaknesses that Groudon could exploit, and I'm sure if I hadn't done that, that probably would have happened. Probably gonna take this bear tick after this too, for the sake of making certain. Also, this is actually really good. This ended up being just the right typing to work here. Excuse me, ugh. You know, there's something I'm curious about that probably, I don't know if anybody's, like, able to answer this, but it's already been found out or not. I wonder if, like, the scientists here, like, they're basically set up to have, like, a Pokemon that's the same no matter who approaches and takes it, or if it actually changes depending on who ends up getting the Pokemon. Like, one person could get, like, say, maybe a Scyther from the scientist, or another Pokemon comes up and ends up trying to get a Pokemon from that scientist, and instead maybe they'd get like a Sudowoodo or something. It's just an interesting thought I had. I've been wondering if it's always like the same Pokemon no matter what. The fact that the items that you get offered by the backpackers like vary depending on and like per person makes me wonder if maybe the results are differing depending on who accepts the Pokemon offering too. It wouldn't be that shocking. The typing's always like really weird. I don't think it's always the same type, and I think like usually it's not the same type as what you've already got. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Never really paid close enough attention to actually know that they actually do offer you like differing Pokemon depending on the circumstances. Just a random thought that I wanted to throw out here about the game, and also was wondering if maybe somebody hadn't been paying attention and like actually thought and like was able to answer this, but I don't know if anybody's actually looked up all the data on the Dynamax adventures right now, or how far we are in like knowing everything about these. Obviously we've got stuff like shiny chance already determined. Oh man, ugh. Fuck. Give me just a second or two. Alright, let's go back to another topic that I was mentioning for a little bit, because I feel like I hadn't completely exhausted this topic of any fun things to talk about. I'm curious, even if you guys can't answer right away, what's the most disappointing sequel you guys have seen out of like all the sequels you've played or watched? Like, what's the one that's had its gameplay that didn't live up to like its predecessors? I'm curious to hear plenty of different opinions on this. Also, I think I should do this for the sake of weaknesses to the boss, although I don't know if it's going to help. The AI is really goddamn dense and probably going to die anyway. AI compared to fighting this boss is really stupid. They can band together sometimes when it comes to raid bosses, but Groudon's on the harder side, so I don't see them surviving this. Oh, fuck, right when I was about to talk and a little more, my fingers are fucking messing with me right now. Lovely. Don't you just love it when you have, like something, or actually maybe not even, let's say like something on your mind you want to talk about and then you get distracted? That's not really right. I was gonna say like, fucking just minding your own business and fucking all of a sudden pain overwhelms you out of nowhere. That always sucks to feel. I'm gonna double check on the chat. I imagine it's fine, but I haven't seen a message in a little bit, so I'm gonna send out a quick message to make sure it's working on my end. When I set something myself, it seems to work. Also, I'm not certain, but it kind of looks like they may have fixed the like prior issues they had with like the YouTube chat on live streams, where when you ended up going on a live stream, or not even going on a live stream, there'd be like instances where the chat would just break and you'd end up seeing like the chat's not responding or some other bullshit error message, and you couldn't see any of what was actually being typed in the chat. It looks like they may have fixed that. Is that? Kind of looks odd. I don't think it's shiny though. Let me check these guys. Yeah, no, I had a feeling it wasn't. I wasn't certain though. Thought maybe the face had a slightly different texture to it for a second. Oh, I bet the person who did that probably isn't very far either. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's like, yeah, you're splitting off to skip a battle, but you're also fighting one of the fucking hardest legendaries out of all these dens. Is it really worth it to fucking and sever the internet connection just so you can skip a fucking battle. You're fighting against Groudon. Seems like a really bad decision if you ask me. Really, oops, well, whatever. I was going to wait until we get a fourth, but I guess we'll get one in a little bit, hopefully. Give me just a second. I got a little sidetracked by a few things. Actually, I'm going to take a moment. Like I said, I was going to take some pills just in case, because my allergy been bothering me. I feel like I should take some right now. My eyes on the screen while I'm doing this. Weird choices for our Pokemon. Why'd they go for Linoon over a fucking Tentacruel? I'm not gonna say Tentacruel's perfect, because Water type seems to be the strat for fighting against Groudon. Whatever, though. Let me see. Ice, Dragon. No. There's water over there. If I go this way, I can get ice, and we will intersect with water, so that's our... Okay, whatever, I guess we're not going that way. Doesn't matter. Ice isn't exactly super useful. I was just thinking more for potential weaknesses. Seems like having one ice Pokemon or one grass Pokemon never really hurts the party too much, but having a whole bunch will. Oh, that's why they picked it as a Pelipper. I didn't realize. Okay, give me a second or two. I wasn't looking at the outline, I guess. Supersonic. Let me get back in my spot now. I think we're good. Right. I'm sorry I keep getting distracted so much. I've got a lot on my mind, and also a lot's been happening this morning, so I guess I'm getting distracted more easily than I'd like to because of that. But yeah, let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, we're talking about sequels and stuff. I'm trying to think on some stuff that I remember personally, since we were talking about disappointing sequels. We can talk about movie sequels or game sequels, whatever. It doesn't have to be specifically games. I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to talk about in this area if I can just remember some. I mean, let's see here. Oh, I know of one actually. Fucking back in the day, and I guess the Wii days, I remember New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I feel like a lot of people gave that game praise. I don't really agree with that. I feel like that game is like the start of them making a cookie cutter game series, the New Super Mario Bros. Series, and just fucking making these Mario games that were literally like, they didn't have like that much difference. They ended up being like really, really samey and not really interesting. Also, I just realized, fuck, I didn't realize when I was picking this thing, this fucking Seismitoad doesn't have any water moves at all. No wonder nobody wanted it. I didn't look at it close enough. I should have got the Tentacruel. Fuck, whatever. Doesn't matter. After we get done with this, I'm going to see if I can take this then, maybe. But yeah, New Super Mario Bros. Wii was not that great in my opinion. Felt way too like the old games and not interesting, not fun to play. It just felt like it tried to copy a classic Mario too much, and I don't know, for a series that prides itself on the name New Super Mario Brothers, there wasn't anything new to really see in the game. The power-ups were new at best, and it didn't feel that fun to play. It didn't feel like it was innovative. It just felt like it was a fucking shill of a game, and the series only got worse over time. And that was one sequel I really didn't like, and I remember a lot about that. That was disappointing. I thought I was going to enjoy that, and I ended up not really liking it. There is another one we can talk about. I didn't even play this one, but I already know from like the reception, and I avoided it because of how people got really angry, and the reviews pretty much spoke for themselves. Fucking in Metroid Other M, that game, I remember everybody shat on it, and for decent reason, because it was fucking terrible. That game, like, single-handedly fucking ruined Samus's character, and a lot of people were quick to point it out how bad it was, not only in the characterization department, but there were some really weird choices, like not letting you use a nunchuck and forcing you to use like a sideways Wiimote and then swap it in its position. It was really, really odd to like hear about that game back in the day. And apparently they were trying to pretend like the Prime games didn't happen for some reason, like they almost tried to... maybe I was wrong. It sounded like they tried to retcon them, which is funny how the exact opposite happened. Or they ended up retconning Other M because that game was fucking trash, to be honest. Oh wow, I didn't even notice Pelipper doesn't have the water moves either, but I wasn't interested in the water when I was wanting it. That does wide guard. Nice, but a little weird that there's like so many water Pokemon in this pool we're getting right now, and none of them have any fucking water moves. Oh well, I guess, whatever. What is this one? Why are we going after the dragon Pokemon? I'm gonna try and swap. Right, like I was saying, Other M was kinda especially after seeing all the other stuff that was released on, like, Nintendo systems and the Wii and all their really good systems. It's like all their good games. I think Nintendo has that problem where they release a lot of good games. They also release stinkers every now and then that just aren't very fun to play or aren't very good. There's a lot of sequels I can remember that were unfortunately not great either. Fucking big one that everybody should remember, Mario Party 9, basically started like a big problem with the Mario Party series. Fucking not a lot of fun, and seeing Mario Party fall down and have this weird difference that they refused to back down from and kept fucking doing every goddamn generation. Every fucking game in the series. I hated how they kept making these unfun Mario parties and they wouldn't stop. They just kept going with it. For the handhelds, they did weird choices for all of those, and for the console stuff, it was just... I think they did 9 and 10, even though I don't know if they got any further than that. They did Super Mario Party, but, like, nobody liked that cart shit. I guess the mini-games were good. I remember a little bit of 9s, but I don't remember any of 10s very well. I remember as Bowser Party, and that was okay. I feel like when I'm talking about Mario Party, and I hate saying this, I feel like the last really great Mario Party game was fucking Mario Party DS, though. I enjoyed Super Mario Party at least a little bit, but I didn't find it to be some amazing game that was incredible or really worth the time I played. It was okay. That's about as far as I'm going to give it credit for, instead of heaping praise on it for no reason, though. I don't feel like there's a lot of reason to. Oh, thank God. I was going to say we need that confusion. We're not really doing very good in this fight. I don't know why we chose to go after a fucking dragon Pokemon. We don't have any good moves to fight it with. Whatever, though. Ugh. Fuck. I'm gonna just mute that for a little bit. I apologize. Like, I'm not trying to mute and not talk. Actually, never mind. It actually went by a little quicker than I was expecting. I was gonna say, I don't need fucking noises from, I was gonna say I don't need noises from a lawnmower being in my microphone for like 5 or 10 minutes, and for a second I thought it was gonna be stuck kind of close to where my window was, where the noise would be really loud. Thankfully, it passed by. It's just annoying having all this noise interfere and get in the way of the microphone when I'm trying to play something, and I'd rather not have my voice interrupted by that kind of stuff. I guess that's just streaming. Gotta deal with a lot of shit. I don't imagine I'm alone in this issue. I'd imagine that, like, anybody who hasn't invested in, like, putting up, like, a proper professional streaming equipment probably has to deal with, like, some issue, maybe not a lot, but I don't know. That was something I dealt with a lot as in streaming. Like, even now, I feel like it's still a problem sometimes. It was more getting interrupted by people while I was streaming, though, and that was fucking infuriating, to say the least. But that's not something I'm going to get into at the moment. I feel like that's not a story I'm interested in talking about right now. Let's see. I don't want to go purely on talking about bad game sequels. There's some good stuff to discuss in that, but I feel like that's not something I want to go talk about only. Let's talk about movies for a little bit. What's the worst movie you guys can remember watching? I'm genuinely curious to hear, like, people's opinions, because there's a lot of shitty movies out there. I'm just interested to see what everybody thinks is the worst they've heard of. I'd have to think a little bit for trying to remember the worst one, because there's a lot of them I've seen, and it's easier to remember the good movies and not the bad movies. Also, haven't seen a message in a while, and I see we've got a little bit of an increase in viewer count, so let me reload my page and make sure everything's okay, and make sure my chat's not breaking any. Okay, I see another message. I'm just making sure, though. I'm going to send a test message, too, just to be safe. Yeah, it looks like they're passing through fine, just making certain. Alright, that's all good. You didn't miss out on a whole lot. Only thing you really missed out on, some loser who decided to disconnect and ended up, like, fucking causing us to not get through the last Groudon encounter because of the fact that we basically all got separated with, like, bot AI as a result of it. This attempt's been going quite a bit better, though. Alright, sounds good, actually. Huh. You finished Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I finished my copy, like, relatively recently, playing it digitally. I've pretty much exhausted every single thing to do in the game. I went through, before I even beat the game, and I went and made certain that I had finished, like, all the mission mode content. And then after I did that, let's see, I think mission mode was the first thing I did after I finished most of that stuff. I also finished the Olimar prologue bit with, like, Olimar's assignment, and trying to think if there's anything else to do before I finished it that I did. Nothing else comes up in my mind, because I think that's, like, the main thing is mission mode and Olimar's assignment are, like, the big focal points. I'm curious, did you get all the fruit, or did you go through and just finish up the main story? Because I feel like when you're playing through the game, maybe it's me. My first playthrough, I was quick to want to rush through and get all the fruit, and I didn't really, or not get all the fruit, I wanted to rush and get through to the end of the story, but I ended up, like, restraining myself because I had a feeling I was getting close to the end and I didn't want it to end, so I ended up specifically wasting more time so I could go after extra fruit. I feel like it made the game better and last longer when I got everything. I'm not going to say the game is significantly longer when you get all the fruit, but it does add, like, extra playtime to it. Like, getting all 66 can take a while. It also means you get to see more enemies and get to see more stuff as you keep playing through the game. Weirdly, though, excuse me, I looked at my game after I'd finished, and I'm surprised that I do not have everything in the Piccolopedia logged, unless I'm mistaken, because I thought I had found everything. I thought I'd went through and saw all the enemies, but then I checked, and it's like 32 out of 55, and it's like, okay, I only got 32. I played through the whole game multiple times. I'm not sure what I'm missing. Most of the obvious stuff is logged there, like I went through and I got, like, all the bosses, obviously, because that's mandatory, and I've got a good chunk of them. I think I got, let's see, I got the rat, I got both the blowhogs, I believe. I don't remember if I got the sheer grub family completely, but I got most of the stuff. Like I'm not sure why I'm missing so much. I'm kind of tempted to look up on the Wikipedia and see what all I'm missing in my the Wikipedia would be right. The Piclopedia, that's my bad. Look up in the fan-based wiki and then see what all is missing from my Piclopedia right now, because I'm sure I'm missing quite a bit of it. There is one of them that I'm pretty sure you would literally only encounter if you went out of your way to find it, and it's in actually the mission mode as well. You can play missions that have it, but you never find this thing unless you're hunting for the fruit by like normal means. There's one enemy I remember in particular, fucking really weird. And I think the reason I remember it so strongly is because my first playthrough, when I was getting, like, all the fruit, I remember, like, I had one fruit left in an area I think I went after, and it was one that I wasn't sure where it was at, and I went over to check it, and then when I found it, there is this strange-ass enemy that doesn't show up at any other point in the game. It's got this fucking weird look to it. It's got like a what's the right word? Its name is bizarre. It's called like the calcified crushed blat or some weird shit like that. And like as I was looking at it, like, yeah, it's got this like sort of like calcium like cell around it, and it jumps around, like tries to squish your Pikmin. You have to come in and fight it with like a bunch of blue Pikmin, and there's a bunch of candy pop buds around, and the idea is you take your blue Pikmin and you transform them into rock Pikmin. Yeah, you take your blue Pikmin, transform them into rock Pikmin, and then you break its shell off, and then you take the rock Pikmin and transform them back so they can cling on to it as blue Pikmin and kill it. It is the ugliest and weirdest enemy I have ever seen in the game, and it feels so strange to look at. I don't know if I'd say it's necessarily out of place for the game, but it is a freaky looking thing, like monster in the game. I'll be honest about that. I don't even begin to understand what the hell that thing's design is. I wonder, actually, I'm not certain. Can you embed images into YouTube or Twitch chat? I'm not actually sure. I thought I saw that on Twitch chat. I think it's like an extension for somebody's OBS that I was seeing, but like I was gonna say, I could try to show a picture of it, but I'd have to link it. I think like a link of it probably instead of actually linking a proper image of it. I feel like it wouldn't actually link correctly that way. It's weird looking. Okay, you can in Twitch. Okay, I was wondering about that. Probably not. I'm gonna link a picture because I feel like this is something that's really neat and really fascinating to look at, even if it's not like an amazing topic or an amazing enemy design. It's like something weird, and it kind of feels like it's a topic that is good for bringing up more discussion. It's good for stuff like talking about like weird enemy designs in video games, in my opinion. I like seeing that kind of shit. This is a fun thing to talk about too. Oh shit, no, don't kill us, please. Okay, we're doing not the best. This Wingle guy should probably use Wide Guard instead of trying to focus on and attacking right now. I'm gonna go find that picture really quickly. Give me a moment. Well, I think I found him. Give me a second. This thing is fucking ugly. Also, for some reason, they don't seem to have a... Like, there's... Oh, wait, I found more pictures now, so maybe I can see it. There's... Like, you can't see the whole thing unless you look at, like, 2 pictures. You can see it... You can see its face... Ace... Wait, did I not get the link for the actual image instead of getting the image itself? That was my fault. My bad. Let me try this again. Oh, we actually beat it already. Sweet. I was kind of worried about that. Let me mark this up then really quick. Okay, cool. Right. Copy this, and then... There we go, in the chat. This is a little bit of a longer link than I like, but whatever, as long as it links correctly. Like, this thing is what I was talking about. It is really ugly looking. That's only a picture of it with its shell still on. It looks weird even without the shell, though. It's that. Let me get the other picture really quickly. I only see one picture of it where it's, like, not got a shell at all, actually, which is really odd. I figured they would have gotten, like, a screen, like, multiple pictures of it from different angles, but I guess not. And that's what it looks like after you broke off the shell completely. It is really, really ugly looking, in my opinion. It just looks really weird. I don't really like the look of it very much. I don't know. That's just the way some of these games are, but... God. Never seen something so strange looking in a game, as far as I can remember. So, that brings up a fun topic, like I was going to suggest earlier. What's everybody's... That's weird, what the hell? Well, if you guys want to look it up, I can mention it. It's called Calcified Crush Blat, I think. Right? Okay, the picture on that part is not working. I guess the first one worked. I actually looked, and yeah, I didn't link correctly. Let me try this again before I give up on it. No, it doesn't link right. What the fuck? Whatever. And that's the only picture I can see of it where it's not got a shell either. Yeah, I guess you'll have to look it up. Well, actually, no, there's one other. Now I found one. Let me try this one. See if it works. Oh, yeah, I got a working pic. Yeah, there it is. This thing is fucking ugly. Really ugly looking. It's weird. I don't like it. Ugh, God. Yeah, it's gross looking in my opinion. I don't know. So yeah, what's everyone's least favorite or weirdest enemies you've seen in games? I'm genuinely curious to hear. There are some, when you look into games, you can find some fucking crazy, weird shit sometimes for enemies. You guys want to join in on the raids, or... It's not really a big deal, actually. I think for today, surprisingly, I might actually be okay to keep going and just not actually get any help up out of, like, viewers. I'm not saying I wouldn't appreciate it, but, like, I've actually found that I'm getting a pretty easy time going through this and, like, crushing Groudon over and over again today. Seems like not only is my strategy helping, but the people I'm working with are doing a pretty good job of keeping a good strategy to actually win this. I'm not sure how this is going to go with only 2 people. It's the only problem I'm worried about. If it doesn't work out, I might actually have to set it up where I just go back to doing it with randoms, because I'm actually getting results right now, and I don't know. Either way works, but I'd like to be able to play with viewers. Just don't want to be stuck losing again right now. As long as it proves that we can do this with 2 people, I think it'll be fine. That's the problem here, is making sure we get a strategy that doesn't end up failing. The big problem with that is the fact that I feel like if we have bots, they're probably going to get us fucked over. Oh, cool. People watching who want to join in, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Oh, man. Ugh. Speaking of enemies, since I was talking about some, I remember one from Pikmin 1, like, really particularly. It wasn't necessarily weird. Well, there were a few enemies in Pikmin 1 that I remember really well, and I feel like I remember seeing a lot of weird enemies in that game in general. Pikmin 2, there's some, but I don't remember those amazingly well. I can name several. I think that's part of what makes it good, though. You get a lot of unique enemies you can see, and see all these crazy, weird, but also unique designs. Like, one of the ones I found interesting that I've seen in Pikmin 1, what's it called again? It's Is it really just a Pustule? That's it? Yeah, I guess that's all it is. Pustule's name. It's a little mushroom thing. And it's really dumb looking. It just runs around. That seems completely harmless. And then when you approach it, it can turn your Pikmin against you and end up causing them to attack you. Like they have a mushroom stem on their head and they turn purple in color. So that was an interesting one. I think there was like a little bit of like lore on it through like the ending credits, but you don't ever get to learn anything about it. It only shows up in Pikmin 1. It's not a big deal. I mean, it sucks that we didn't get the Celio, but yeah, not really gonna be too big of a deal as long as we survive. Although, I am concerned that the AI took the water Pokemon, because I already know for certain that the AI is going to be fucking dim-witted as fuck and then end up going and squandering a good water Pokemon and just tossing it away at the absolute first opportunity instead of holding on to something actually useful. Excuse me, ugh. Ooh. Good, I'm gonna go ahead and attack it with Max Ooze, I guess. I gotta say, when we're talking, or actually, talk about Pikmin's more than enemies, but I can wait on that a minute. And fairy typing is really weird to me. Maybe it's just me, but like also, I find it odd how this typing was introduced in like 6th gen all of a sudden, and it's got really, really odd weaknesses and also a very, very strange like role in the way it works. Like it's meant to counter dragon Pokemon and I guess to an extent dark Pokemon, which probably should have been the actual reason since it's a dark ghost Pokemon being invincible, but like this Pokemon type feels like it came out of nowhere. I guess it makes sense they put the weaknesses as poison and steel type. Both of those don't have like a lot of strong points in the meta. It just feels weird that we went through like 6 generations and only one time did we get any new additions being like originally dark and steel type, and then after like all this time they decided to add another type to the mix all of a sudden. But it's probably for the better now. I think that we've actually patched away like all the impossible Pokemon with no actual weakness to them. That actually makes me think on something though. Back in 4th gen there was something really interesting where like with I think it was, yeah, what's his name again? Arceus, yeah, Arceus had like had all those plates, yeah, and it had all of its different forms. I remember back in the day when they, like, them discovering all these, like, different plates, I could have sworn I remember there being, like, an extra plate left over where, like, there was, like, a question marks, like, type or something, and it had, like, a plate with, like, no typing, and it was, like, I don't know if they called it mystery plate or what, and this was like found in the game. I don't know if it was like hacked in or what. I think it had item data though, and it gave Arceus a typing that was invincible. Was there ever anything that was found out about what the hell that was all about? It was a really weird thing to see back in the day. It didn't really make a lot of sense. Something I found really, really odd, and I found it really, really fascinating. I was thinking maybe it could have been like something that was potentially placeholder for a fairy type, but I mean, I don't know if they would have planned fairy type as early as that. Also, yeah, Absol has Blizzard. Pretty strong Pokemon overall. I feel like that's our biggest concern, is getting a bunch of Pokemon together where weaknesses aren't really going to weigh us down too much to fight against Groudon, just so we have an actual good chance of winning. Making sure we can actually win no problem. I've noticed like that's the biggest way you can make sure everything works out, is to have strong type ups but not have weaknesses like fire type. Ice type is good outside the boss. I'm not actually sure if ice type is going to be good here or not, considering I'm wondering if the type's going to resist this Groudon's fire right now. Don't think it does with this particular type up. I'm not sure though. Let me see. It's got Ice Rock, I think. Let me see. Wow, okay, wait a second. According to Type Calculator when I checked, there's only one immediate weakness we should be paying attention to in Groudon, it seems like. Well, there's actually two, but it's not a big deal. Like, it says Fighting and Steel are apparently ×4 for Aurorus, which I wasn't going to figure this would be worth using at first, but it seems like it doesn't take that much from Fire, and it only takes ×2 from ground type moves. Like, it's not got that many problem weaknesses. The only thing that Groudon has that this Pokemon needs to worry about is Hammer Arm, which, from what I've seen, Groudon seems like it barely uses Hammer Arm, so maybe this thing is safe. Maybe we should take this thing just for the sake of having this work. I mean, it's got a weakness to ground type, but I mean, ×2 doesn't seem like it's super likely to die against Groudon, to be honest. It seems like it could probably survive. We had to pick between something here. I might actually take this, because I think... Well, actually, no, I don't know. That's the better option here is the real question, because I've got Tentacruel and I've got Hydro Pump, but it's like, do I take this or do I work with this? I have to set up for Dynamax to get water moves and power. And for this guy, it's got one move it can use because of its ability. I don't know. I'm gonna stay with Tentacruel, I guess. Yeah, there's no ice moves. It's got apparently the ability is like supposed to turn normal type moves to ice, so it can use that to beat Pokemon, but that's like literally the only upside to it. Okay, yeah, trying to make sure I figured out what was the best, and this thing has berries over here, so might as well. I don't see any better typing here. Yeah, I don't know, it's a weird thing. I didn't pick it a few times because I didn't realize that it doesn't actually need an ice type move, since it's got Body Slam and ice type apparently. But I mean, I don't know if it'll actually come in handy up against the boss or not. All I know is that I would probably have similar results using Aurorus as I would using Tentacruel. Wait, what is this guy's typing? I thought he was like a Steel Rock Pokemon. Let me see what Google says. Barbaricles, is that his name? Let me see. Rock, water. Okay, he's got water typing. It's not bad. I wonder if he's got any water moves. He does have a ground weakness, though, which is kind of concerning of whether or not he's going to be useful with that. Like, I can see this being potentially good, but then, yeah, like I said, having a weakness to ground makes me nervous that if we do too many ground type weaknesses that Groudon's is going to fucking stomp us. I guess I'll find out when I see his move pool at the very end. Let me see, hold on a second. Just checking, I thought I'd maybe missed something for a second, but I think I'm all good. How many deaths have we had? Hopefully that's the first, I can't even tell. Hope we're not nearing like 4 deaths already. We're not even at the boss yet. This is looking kind of not the best at the moment. We have a better attacker for this. I think the best attacker we've got outside of this is probably fucking Aurorus, which is being utilized by the AI, so Fuck it. I'm gonna just use this for right now. Wait, what now? Hold on a second. I'm sorry if I'm a little absent-minded at the moment. I'm not paying as close attention to what I'm saying completely, even though I should, and also paying attention to chat as much as I should. My fault. I mean, I'm trying to read it carefully. Actually, let me see. I've been so focused on a lot of things that I haven't actually checked my uptime, and we're about at 2.5 hours, right? Okay. That means I'm gonna stop in another 30 minutes, probably, since I talked about it already. I need to go make sure I'm paying attention to trying to get my phone checked out in case of... I'm just gonna try to make sure I can get this problem fixed. I hope I can get the phone either fixed or get a refund, since my fucking battery's not working. Yeah, that paralyze is really helpful. Also, I think we should probably have somebody with a water Pokemon do the next Dynamax. Maybe I'm wrong. Or even if we don't have a water Pokemon Dynamax, we probably... We need to swap... Or not swap, but we need to get rid of the fucking weather effect in the next battle regardless. We need to take away a drought from Groudon so we get power. Otherwise, all the water Pokemon we're going to use is actually going to be a really, really bad scenario. We need to put in something to stop Groudon from having his fire powered up. And taking away power from his... taking away power from his fire moves and also giving power to water Pokemon. I'm not going to take it. If somebody else wants it, I guess. It doesn't matter, though. Ice is 4 times effective? I mean... I don't know. Not against that thing, and it's definitely not against Groudon, because Groudon only has one typing. In order for something to have a quadruple effectiveness, that means that it has to be like 2 different typings, so it can't really have that unless it has 2 different typings. Yeah, the bots are fucking dumb. They make these kind of stupid choices all the fucking time for some reason. I hate these bots because they make really boneheaded decisions. I'm a little concerned because we've got 2 Pokemon with ground type weaknesses and 1 with the fire type weakness. Nah, Groudon's pure ground type. I'm just gonna Water Pulse. I feel like I'm better off if I save my Hydro Pump until I've gotten the chance to use it at full power. We're not gonna get our hands on using thing like Rain. It seems like it's better to just do it as soon as the hail comes in then. Better to not squander it. It'd be really, really helpful, though, if the game decided that we could get our hands on Confusion right now, but I have a feeling the game's not going to be that kind to us, even though it's been nice a few times. Certainly help us, though. Alright, let's see. Come on, is it time yet? Yeah. Come on, Confusion. Damn, I don't think it had. Oh, it did. Sweet. Fuck yeah. Oh, that's gonna be really useful. Good shit. Status effects against legendaries almost always come in clutch. Oh, man. Huh. Oh, wait. It actually has Max Geyser? I didn't actually... Oh, yeah, that's right. I think I saw Scald or something on one of these before. I didn't actually realize Beartic had, like, a water move. Fuck yeah. We're getting some fucking good RNG right now. I mean, RNG's not the right word necessarily, but, like, we're getting a fucking good battle. Getting water set up where it's perfect. We got Confusion, too. I'm almost tempted to Poison Jab, but I don't know if I can inflict poison on it or not. I feel like poison would be like the next big thing we can do to it, but I have the impression that probably I'd be wasting my time using poison on it. Better to just Hydro Pump and Max Geyser or whatever until it fucking dies. Excuse me, I'm feeling a little choked at the moment. I don't know why. It feels right now like I fucking swallowed a hair or something. My throat feels really bad. I might end up getting up for just a second to go get some water. I wasn't going to take an AFK break this time because I figured I would be okay until the stream ended, and then I started feeling this fucking gross feeling in my throat. Ew. Fucking gotta love when you feel this kind of shit for no reason, where your body just makes you feel like dog shit for no good reason. Oh well, whatever. Fuck yeah, I think in the next hit or two it's dead. We fucking killed it already. I've gotta say, coming from like the first day of me hunting this thing when I was struggling against it all the way to right now, this is satisfying. I was getting fucking destroyed by this bastard, like, continually. Now I'm fucking kicking its ass continually. That feels really good. It's only beaten me one time today. Alright, let's save this. And in the next encounter, we're at 20. Fuck yeah, we're getting a lot further along. What did we start at, like, 12 today? I think we've nearly doubled the count we were at before. That's actually really awesome. Fuck yeah. I kind of feel like after I get done today, I might actually have to come back and do more of this. I'm very, very pleased with how this is turning out. I kind of want to keep trying to get it. Unless we end up actually pulling one, which would be fucking I say clutch, that's not the right word. It'd be fucking hype though if I found a shiny Groudon before I ended. Yeah, nothing. Let me check my Pokemon, though. I haven't gotten a new one in a while, actually. In fact, I don't think I've gotten the new shiny out of this hunt in, like, since I started. I got a Porygon out of these, but I had Porygon through, like, Let's Go, so it's not really gaining anything new for me. I want to see something that I've never had before. Gee, hold on a second. I'm going to check something just out of curiosity in my boxes before we go back. Trying to check my record of, like, all the shinies I've gotten through Dynamax Adventures again to see if there's, like, anything I've forgotten. Probably not, though. Let's see. So, this was the first one I picked up, yeah. Can barely tell it's shiny, for God's sake. Duplicate. Already have one on Let's Go, maybe even two. This bad boy was me hunting it. Fuck yeah, I love him still, even though it took fucking forever. I think this is one of the best new ones I've got. This is good. And then the Porygon, yeah, I was right. I haven't got anything new since I started it. Not like it's a big deal. I was just checking that because I was wondering. Even if I don't get a Groudon right now, it'd be nice to see something new pop up in the pool. Also, it might just be me. It feels really weird how fucking out of all these shiny hunts, like, you go after a legendary and you do it on repeat over and over again, and yet always the fucking common Pokemon that you keep catching are the ones that turn up shiny for some reason. Never the legendaries for whatever reason. It takes forever if you want a legendary. I've seen like a few people who've gotten lucky and got them quick, but I don't hear about that very often. You haven't gotten a shiny yet? You'll get one eventually. They're not that hard to come by. It's just a matter of check your Pokemon when you get done and go review everything you picked up over the course of battling. Also, it's good to check the summary just in case you end up with a shiny that has like a really bad shiny that's hard to distinguish from the rest of them. Excuse me. A bad shiny that you can't really distinguish from the rest of the shinies, like you can't really tell easy. I mean, those shinies suck to be on the receiving end, but it's honestly not that big of a deal. It's better to have a shiny than to have no shiny, even if it's a shitty shiny. Wow. Game's being nice right now. We got 3 water Pokemon on the side, so I'm thinking, yeah, we take advantage of that. I'm just looking over the thing really quick. Damn. Other than Pokemon trainer, or not even trainers, like the backpackers who have the items end up aligning with any of the water Pokemon, though. I'm kind of not sure if we should go after the girls or go after the water. I'm just thinking maybe they'll be good held items. I don't know. Pikumuku. Actually, what have we got for Pokemon water Pokemon again, just to make sure? Seeking. Also, Sharpedo, Seadra. I didn't get a good look at the moveset on Seadra. I'm assuming it's not that bad. But speaking from what I saw on Sharpedo on multiple runs, I feel like it's a good idea to probably toss that Sharpedo in favor of a better water Pokemon. Sharpedo has, like, what, Aqua Jet? I don't think we're going to get much use out of it. Oh, wait, maybe? If it's good, then, I mean, I wouldn't be against keeping it, but I'm concerned that when we get to Groudon, the Sharpedo is not going to be a lot of fucking use when he doesn't have any fucking water moves other than Aqua Jet. I'm wondering why they do this, actually. They set up the Pokemon in this where they don't have a lot of, like, useful moves. Like, he has one water-type move, and a lot of these Pokemon in these layers have, like, really dumb move pool choices. I guess it's intentional, but it's like, who's picking these move sets in the first place? Like a fucking Seismitoad that has no water moves. Why would you want to get your hands on like a bunch of Pokemon where there's literally no good type moves like that? I don't know. I wouldn't really want to pick up a Pokemon where there's nothing to work with for its typing or anything like that. I'm concerned this Sharpedo may not be useful or not. I don't know. I kind of wish you could check your teammates' Pokemon just to look at the movesets. That way, if you're communicating, you could, like, make a suggestion for what to do with, like, the Pokemon everyone's holding. Just in case. Whatever, though. We'll keep an eye on what we've got in front of us. If this thing has, like, better moves than Sharpedo, I'd say maybe go for it. It's really just dependent on if it's better. We've got 3 water Pokemon on the path, though, so, I mean, we can definitely check if there's something better. I know you can check on the one you kill, but I don't know if you can check on your teammates' Pokemon, at least as far as you can, and I can tell I don't think that's possible. Oh, lovely. Fucking, yeah, we need to swap out Seadra now, unless there's a way we can get rid of Poison, because it's going to be stuck with us the entire fucking run at this point. Wait, let me see. Is there a way to look here? Wait, that's info. Let me see. Okay, that doesn't show the moves, though, as far as I can tell. Fuck, unless... No, it doesn't show me moves. Damn. I was hoping maybe I could see what the moveset was. Alright, whatever. Right. I don't know who's got Seadra at the moment, but I think Seadra's gonna have to say goodbye because of Poison. I guess whoever's got Seadra, swap it out with Pikumuku. Or, it depends. If this thing's got trashy water moves, it might not be worth taking. I'm curious, what does this guy's shiny look like? Let me see. I think I've seen it once. I don't remember it, though. Okay, so it's green and it's got yellow, like, I don't know what those are in its head. Spikes, maybe? Those are yellow and the head's green. Interesting. Also, the eyes are yellow as well. Such a weird-looking Pokemon, honestly. Yeah, he doesn't have any water moves. Okay, he was worth leaving behind then. What a waste. Go over there for the water Pokemon only to find it's not actually good. Okay, I was gonna go for water for the sake of getting another chance at a good water Pokemon, but I mean, we can probably take out a ground Pokemon, no problem. Also, this gives us a chance to get an item. Let's see, what's good here? Shell Bell, I don't know. Whatever's normal. Oh god, I'm just gonna pick the fucking Shell Bell. It's not really a lot of time. None of the stuff I got's like amazing to pick from. Too bad Seadra is poisoned. I have a feeling Seadra would probably be really goddamn good. I mean, honestly, I feel like a Seadra that got an Eviolite could have been a really, really strong Poke. Oh god, it's fucking got it's electric type. Alright. I think we can still murder this thing in like a turn without actually dying from it. Now this thing is the weirdest and one of the ugliest Pokemon. It's a fucking flat-looking thing. I don't know what the hell it's actually supposed to be. I think it's like a fish of some sort. I'm not really sure about it, though. The name Stunfisk doesn't exactly... the name Stunfisk doesn't exactly tell you a whole lot about it, like, what the Pokemon is meant to be. I think there's like an animal like this in real life, like one that it actually like sits on the ground and they wait for people to step on it, and then when you step on it, it electrocutes you. A Stingray? I guess maybe. I don't know. When I think of Stingray, I think more of what's his name? Mantine, yeah. Hey Melee Kirby, welcome to stream. Good to see you. I've been doing this for a while. We're trying to do just a little bit of catch-up stream stuff where I can talk to people since I wanted to do something to keep up with the community instead of streaming regularly because I don't feel like I'm going to be able to, but I've been trying the shiny hunt right now and the result is not going very smoothly, so we've been doing this for a while. Been going after a Groudon for a while and still haven't had any results yet. What is it? I think we're nearly at 20, aren't we? Let me see. Yeah, we got one more encounter and it dies. And the next time we kill one, it'll end up being 20, so that's not that bad. I had to be on long. I think it won't be on for long, unfortunately. In general, yeah, it's not going to be something that's going to be normal right now, and something that I'm going to be able to keep doing. I'm doing this until I get my shiny Pokemon and trying to make something happen here. I'm going to end up stopping again after I get, well, maybe not the Groudon specifically, but I'm going to be doing a thing, or stopping like really soon. I want to be able to continue streaming, but yeah, depression issues. That's fucking life for you, feeling like complete trash and not feeling like I can stream normally because I just feel really shitty. So after I get this guy and probably go after a shiny Kyogre in this game, I'll probably go back to not streaming for at least another month or two and then do maybe a little bit more shiny hunting or something. I don't know. I'll figure that out. I want to do like games every month or two, maybe. Alright, I mean, actually I guess this works out. I doesn't say it wouldn't be a big deal, but actually now that I look at it, as long as we get this thing, we'll be fine. Although, now we've got a paralyzed Sharpedo, so... Ooh. I think we're just gonna have to sit with the Sharpedo. I think our best answer is to keep the Stunfisk out of the party, because if we keep Stunfisk, it's gonna get 2 ground weaknesses instead of 1, so if we continue forward with the party like this, we're gonna get fucking hit a lot harder than if we keep 3 water Pokemon. Yeah, welcome to stream, Melee Kirby. Glad you could drop by and chat at least. Things have been alright. I wanted to drop by your streams, but honestly, life in general has been hard on me lately, really hard. I haven't had a lot of free time, whether it be from dealing with phone problems or whatever. I mentioned I had family issues as well, and on top of that, I feel like I'm having trouble motivating myself to get through the day and deal with shit lately, so yeah, I've been having really hard time going through my everyday life, and as a result, it's made me less active even getting on live streams and shit. I feel like my activity in general lately has been really low. Ugh, not a great feeling. Yeah, I've known him for a while. Very close streaming friend. I remember he used to stream on YouTube a little bit. We'd chat quite often, though. I would do raids if I wasn't... I'm absent-minded, and also I don't stream a whole lot anyway, to be honest. In our time sometimes, or like around the same point where we end up not being able to host one another or whatever. Trying to debate whether or not I should do... Yeah, fuck it, we'll do Max Quake and see if we can get rid of this thing, like, immediately. Oh, man. I've been hearing a lot of not so great things about Twitch right now, and I'm not surprised. I think the biggest thing I'd be worried about for, like, streaming purposes if I was on Twitch would be the DMCA stuff, though. I don't like how playing a game and then it having a track that's on, like, the DMCA list can literally get your entire channel banned just because of Twitch's stupid policies right now. Whoever put that rule in place, I feel like they didn't think that through at all. It's funny how Twitch has been having a lot of problems, and also one of their fucking solutions to trying to fix this, and everybody's griping at them, is to fucking try and calm everybody down by giving everybody, like, the golden kappa for a few days. It's like, yeah, you can fuck off, Twitch. Nobody gives a shit about you giving out, like, some fucking stupid golden emote just to try and fix the problem. It's literally meant to be like a special emote, and you're trying to use this as some way to calm people down. That's not going to help any. I don't know. I use YouTube because I'm used to it, and I find it easy to find people to talk to on YouTube. That might just be me. Plus, I can use YouTube for multiple things. Although, I don't know. I wouldn't want to touch Twitch right now. Not with the fucking DMCA issue and not with the ad thing. That pisses me off, and I genuinely hope they do something about it. Yeah, I'd say take the Quillfish over Stunfisk. We don't need to keep a Clang and Stunfisk. That's going to probably get us killed. There we go. I kind of want to get a shiny Quillfish, I think, actually. Not anytime soon, but I mean, I'd like to see one, just because I think they're like pink or whatever. They're really good Pokemon, and I would love to have one. I love a lot of the Pokemon from Gen 1 and 2. I don't think there's any Pokemon from those gens that I actually hate, to be honest. I have a soft spot for these Pokemon. Huh. I don't know. I haven't streamed on Twitch maybe more than once. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever be able to switch at this point after going through doing all my stuff on YouTube. The biggest hard part of YouTube is, like, not only getting new people, but getting, like, more subscribers, because I feel like my subscribers have not gone up very high on YouTube. They've been stagnant and not really going up a whole lot. They went up recently a little bit, but I mean, when I was actually actively streaming, I felt like it didn't really move very much. It's a little frustrating. I'll say it now, and I've said it 20 times, I'll say it again, though. YouTube pisses me off how they keep changing everything. Fucking stop taking away options from people. Leave stuff alone and, like, let people pick stuff. People like options on YouTube and want to use, like, differing options, then why should they fucking rip those options away from us and make us have to use other stuff? Why can't we have the choice of, like, having whatever layout we want or whatever? Why do we have to see them always fuck everything up? I don't understand that. YouTube seems to be hell-bent on changing everything like every year or two, though. And usually their changes are worse than what they had before. There's a lot of stupid changes that I really don't like on YouTube that I could talk about, too. Fucking end cards feel like they're usually intrusive. They get in the way of actually fucking watching the video and end up pissing me off when I'm checking out a video. Like, the video's not over and you see an end card in the middle of the screen blocking your view. Also, annotations were actually kind of cool and useful. Like, you could actually use those for important shit, and they got rid of them in favor of end cards. And frankly, end cards feel like a fucking way more inferior solution. I don't really get what they were thinking doing that. Oh gosh. This is worrying. I had a feeling this might happen because, like I said earlier, Sharpedo's got kinda not the best moveset it looked like. I think its strongest water type was Aqua Jet, and we're not doing a lot of damage to Sharpedo. Or not Sharpedo, it's in Groudon. Fuck, we're in trouble. We need to be killing it right now. Whatever, though. Wow, that paralysis hack shit can fuck right off right now. I'm starting to feel concerned we're not going to beat it. This is the same reason I don't like to play Pokemon online, actually. You see this kind of strategy more than you'd like, where people find a way to literally just incapacitate you where you can't even fight back against the fucking strategy they employ. Like, see somebody do shit like... I remember one strategy I saw in, I think it was Gen 4, somebody used against me. The worst shit I've ever seen. Somebody had a setup where, I don't remember what their Pokemon was, but they had a Pokemon with Roar on it, and they had a Stealth Rock Pokemon, and they started spamming Roar over and over again, and it would go first like every turn. It was the most bullshit strategy I've ever seen, because you didn't get any option to actually fight. You just got fucking hit by the rocks and kept dying over and over again. I think we're dead. Yeah, we lost that round. Fuck! That was good up until the fucking part about Sharpedo being paralyzed and us not having another water Pokemon for utilizing instead. Actually, fuck, now that I think about it, even Stunfisk would have been a good replacement. Like, we have the same problem either way there. Quillfish has a ground weakness that I forgot about. Alright, no shinies. Damn it. All that just to die at the very end. Yeah, our problem isn't just the team wipe so much as it was that we didn't have any like strong attacks to work with right there. Like, our best thing that was going at it, as far as I can tell, was probably Max Geyser from Sharpedo, and the lower the attack is, the lower it's going to be when it ends up getting Dynamaxed, so not really super helpful there. It ended up not doing enough to really help out much. Alright, I'll set up another link code. We'll do one more. I'm about to stop after this, though, since I'm approaching that limit of 3 hours I set up today. Nice. And I find it kind of weird how they set it up where it's like a setup where you get, like, client-side only shinies. Like, everybody gets theirs generated at the end, and it's not like everybody gets the shiny or one person gets it instead. That's something I find odd. I guess it's kind of exciting, but at the same time, it's salt-inducing when you end up going on like a legendary raid, and then you hear somebody else have like a shiny legendary and you didn't get it. I mean, sure, you might want to congratulate them on it, but it doesn't feel great that you're missing out on that. Alright, let's continue. Try this one more time. This system is good, though. I like how they handled it, although I guess it's just Pokemon in general, but like, it sucks not getting anything for a long time. I feel like the 1 out of 1,000 odds are great, though. I'm gonna take this guy, yeah. That's Seismitoad. God, why not even one water move? Ooh, Pelipper. We got a Wired Guard user. We can use that in the final fight. Use that and spam it against Groudon. Oh, man. By the way, I'm curious. How many of you guys played, like, the older Pokemon games and played, like, stuff like Pokemon Stadium? Just curious in general. I think at least Melee Kirby, yeah, since we're both a bit older, probably played it. Curious how many people here have actually played the Stadium games, and also, like, some of the older spin-offs and stuff. I mean, I'm not really gonna get into this topic too much because I talked about spin-offs before, but I was curious how many people have played like a lot of the older ones. There's a lot of good ones, a lot of fun older Pokemon spin-off games, and Stadium's not even really a spin-off, I guess. Stadium is their way of being like, hey, here's a game where you can play with your Pokemon in 3D before they actually got it perfected. Yeah, that's fucking great of the game. Offer a Seismitoad. It doesn't have a single water move on it. Same with Pelipper, but I guess Pelipper's benefited by Weather Ball. Yeah, it really sucks, honestly. Played in Stadium, but not Stadium 2. Stadium 2's good, not really certain if it's that much better, but like, Stadium 2 is a pretty good game. It's more of the same. That's the only problem with it is it's not got a lot of difference. I noticed when I was playing through Pokemon Stadium, even though I didn't completely finish it, and I was intending to, like, maybe this is the criticism of Gen 1 in general, there's a lot of bullshit in the way Stadium's, like, balanced, at least Stadium 1. Like, all the trainers have, like, some really stupid gimmicks, and some of them, like, do shit like use paralysis hacks or, like, sleep hacks to fucking beat you, and then install you with, like, a bunch of bullshit that was, like, exclusive to Gen 1. Like, how if you use Wrap, you'd end up stalling someone and they can't move, and you wouldn't be able to fight back against it. Like, I lost battles over shit like that because the AI would use these total degenerate strats on me. And these were, like, things you didn't see in other gens. I'm pretty sure Wrap was nerfed so you couldn't just fucking continually wrap somebody to death in, like, later Pokemon gens. That's something I really don't like. Even though I enjoyed Stadium, the fucking AI made me want to fucking scream. Ugh. Oh shit, what did I wasn't trying to switch and I hit it by mistake. Whatever. I'll get another water Pokemon or something by the end, although, get a grass too. Oh yeah, I don't have any more water. I guess I'll have to take whatever comes up. Yeah, fuck stalling stuff in Pokemon games. It's usually just annoying and fucking really shitty to deal with. Hang on just a second. I want to check one little thing. Also, Pokemon Coliseum was really goddamn good. I'm gonna have to stream that game one day. I really liked Coliseum. Also, I played Coliseum and XD. They're both really good games. That's not really much better. Considering I got a Pokemon where now instead of me getting like another good type, I've got something that's gonna be weak against Groudon. Fuck. Great. I mean, actually, Emolga might have been better. Fuck, because Emolga had Flying type, I think. Shit. Whatever, I guess. I don't know, I like both of them a lot. The whole Shadow Pokemon angle was really cool. I liked how they handled it. And they expanded it in a really, really good way when they made Coliseum. Or as soon as they made XD. XD felt like a really, really good way to continue it. I missed, like, the Stadium stuff, but actually in, like, hindsight, I'm glad they went down a different route rather than doing Stadium 3. It was more creative, more fun seeing them put up a game where you actually have, like, an adventure. It gave you a good way to get, like, certain Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon you couldn't get. God damn. It makes me wonder why they never continued, like, a third game, actually. The whole plotline was strange, but it felt fun as hell. Also, I liked how they linked up the lore with, like, Shadow Pokemon were already what's the right word for it? Well, they were, like, already had their heart closed off and they were being utilized in terrible ways in, like, the first game. And then in the second game, they ended up expanding on the lore and how they tried to make them stronger and pushed them, and they ended up making Shadow Lugia. I feel like there's, like, should have been a third game by now. We literally have a fucking Shadow Mewtwo that cropped up in Pokemon Tournament. I remember that, yeah. I was having a bit of trouble remembering that for just a second, but, like, why make this thing that's literally a direct reference to Coliseum and Stadium, or Coliseum and, damn it, why can't I speak right now? Why make a Pokemon that's literally a direct reference to Coliseum and XD, and then and not actually make another game in that same series. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Also, that whole statement about, oh, Shadow Mewtwo can't be purified makes me believe there's actually going to be like a game eventually where you actually can capture and purify it. It only makes sense. I like the design of it though, it's certainly neat looking. Oh man. Fuck. Hopefully one day we'll see more of that series. Good series, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get that maybe. Or if not, doesn't matter. I mean, getting rid of that fucking Seismitoad would be the next thing we need to focus on after getting our hands on Serena. So, yeah, I think we should probably go down this way and try to get the best Pokemon possible. I don't see any benefit from the dragon unless I'm mistaken, so I'm gonna say to go for fighting. Maybe switching Seismitoad with whatever the scientist has is good. Alright, later, Melee Kirby. Good to see you. I'm glad you dropped by. It certainly was pleasant chatting for a little while. I am probably going to be stopping the stream after this Groudon raid ends. That way I can focus on what I said I would, and after that, well, there might be another stream later in the day. I might actually go and make sure that I come back for a little more Groudon hunting. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see how I feel about it. I'll mention it on the Discord if I do, but I mean, I guess I'll send a message or I'm done, just say I'm not certain if I'm gonna stream more or not. I'll be stopping soon anyway, though. I do appreciate you guys dropping by and hanging out and helping, though. It certainly made things a little more fun, and I'd say maybe not perfectly easier, but at least a little easier, so yeah. Also, wait a second, I'm thinking. Wheezing has poison, yeah, if it sticks with us, it's gonna get ground weakness. I'm not sure if Vikavolt has Levitate or not. That's a little worrying if we got two ground weaknesses. However, Phalanx has fighting type alone, so could take the Phalanx and we'd be in a pretty decent spot for type ups against the boss here. I think that might be the strat. I don't know. Fuck, I'm going for Dynamax. I'm assuming Max Airstream will get rid of it. Also, shit, our health is looking a little low. We don't have any berries nearby, unless I'm misremembered either, so that's a little on the concerning side. I mean, this thing's probably going to die in a turn, though it may not matter. Looking at our party, we actually only have one grass Pokemon, or should I say we have one grass Pokemon, we have one water Pokemon. I actually don't feel like we need the Dynamax, the water next time. Might be best if I don't know if I can get it or not, it'd be helpful, but if we could get a Dynamax off of this Serena again, I could use that and get grassy terrain for us. The only problem is that means I have to wait several turns. I don't know if we should wait that long or not. Fuck. I'm assuming the Dynamax turns when your Pokemon's actually Dynamax don't count towards your cooldown either, so lucky yes, we're gonna have to wait until several turns before I can actually Dynamax again. Right, I'm gonna leave it. I mean, if anybody's probably needing to replace it, maybe Wheezing, I don't know. Well, whatever. I hope this party for the boss is going to work. Oh shit, we don't have any healing and we're not perfectly set up. This is a little worrying. Alright, whatever. Just gonna try to stay positive. I think we can do this. Oh boy. Excuse me, though. By the way, this is just a quick topic change. I'm in the mood to talk about something else. You guys looking forward to the new Pokemon Snap? I'm gonna pick it up probably. Well, I might not pick it up if it's full price at like 60, but I'm looking forward to it. If it's like, if I can get it for like 40 or less, I'll probably get it. It's been a long time since we've had a Pokemon Snap game. I feel like it'd be nice to play that. See what all they come up with for this new one. I've been wanting to see a new one for so long. Okay. I don't know what our best option here is, but I'm fucking going full-on confusion for the sake of our survival. If I don't know if we're gonna survive. Fuck off, really? You want to nerf my speed right now, fucker? Whatever. Oh, man. It makes me sad when I think about how, like, I'd mentioned spin-offs earlier. There's so many good spin-offs from Pokemon that are, like, just sat around unused that, like, they made one game and then they never did anything with it. It happened a lot. Comes out soon. Yeah, I don't blame you on that. And I'd probably be agreeing with you on the idea of no $60 price tag. Yeah, it's more of a desperation move at this point. I don't know if we can win or not without it, so I used it for the confusion. I hope it's actually going to work out, but figure maybe if I used confusion, we'd actually have a decent chance of getting it to fucking smack itself and kill itself while we're fighting it. It attacks 2 times every turn. I did this while I had Wide Guard in mind, so that, yeah, it's not completely just a useless idea, but it's not the best idea either. Doing the best I can to keep it under confusion. Wait, is it still confused, or did it fucking lose the confusion? Fuck. I think it's got confusion still. I'm trying to make sure we know whether or not it's confused, so I'll know whether or not I should, what I should attack right now. I'm probably better off just using Trop Kick. Fuck, I'll do Trop Kick. I know about the increasing the attack power, but the only worry is, like, yeah, I want it to fucking hurt itself instead. But I'm worried instead I might end up fucking using it and then goddamn finding that it has, or that it breaks out of confusion like the next turn. I don't want to fucking find that I power this fucker up for no reason. Okay, good. I was able to... Well, actually, shit. We're going to need Wide Guard for certain next round. If we don't, I might not be able to survive. I need to set up that max overgrowth. Otherwise, it's going to be a little harder to make sure we have safety. Not necessarily doomed, but I need that fucking wall. Ugh. Come on. I feel like we're just literally, like, any second this fucker could one-shot us. The only saving grace we have is if he does try to kill us all. He can't take us all out in one single batch. He has to do Earthquake or Precipice Plates to get rid of 2 Pokemon. And he has to do another move, aka Lava Plume, to get rid of the survivors of the attack. Thank God the AI is not smart enough to pick super effective moves every turn. Just a little bit more. We nearly killed it. I mentioned it before, actually. I want another Pokemon trading card game. Not like the ones where... those online ones or whatever, where they're like set up to play against other players, or even just like a card game where you're literally like playing cards with somebody else. But like, I want to see another spin-off with that, like the way they did the trading cards. Like, what the hell? Why'd they only do one where it was... it felt like it was kind of similar to like how mainline Pokemon is. You go around battling and getting badges and shit, basically, and getting to use like different type effectiveness. It felt fun to play, and they made one for Gen 1, and then they made a sequel that was also Gen 1, and they never touched it again. I want a Pokemon trading card game with like newer Pokemon in it. I'm surprised they didn't touch it any throughout any of the generations, because there's so many more options they could have added in over time, and they didn't. I don't understand why. There we go. That did the trick. Might have been a little bit close, but we got it. Right. From your ball. Alright, this is the last one of the stream right now. Let's hope we get shiny. Probably not, though. Any second. Yeah, that was a little bit worrying. Our party was not doing great. I think Wide Guard kind of saved us. That and maybe Max Overgrowth healing us every turn, just in case we potentially got too low on health to survive a hit. That was scary close. Let's see here. Anything? No? I'm not sure what a Mulga looks like as a shiny. Nah, he's not shiny. I think I've seen this thing, but I don't remember the coloring either, so yeah. Nothing. Alright, whatever. We're 1/5 the shiny odds. I'm gonna be really angry if we go through another 80 of these motherfuckers and we don't turn up even one shiny, though. But I mean, we'll focus on doing some more of this in a little bit. Probably tomorrow, but I'm not even sure. Tomorrow I might have to do some stuff. I might have to do some laundry stuff. I'm doing stuff for myself that I need to take care of soon. I don't know if I'll be doing it tomorrow or not, though. So maybe I'll be online tomorrow. I don't know for sure yet. And as for today, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be back on later today, but we'll see how that goes, if I'm in the mood or not. Anyway, that's our stopping point for today. I'm done right now. I went on for quite some time. Hope you guys enjoyed doing these raids and shiny hunting. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hope you all have a great day. Bye, everybody. See you soon.